Hello and welcome everybody to the GDQ Hotfix. I am Etchy, going to be your host for today. I got a really exciting run for everybody here. We got Pokemon HeartGold Any Manipless. So that means no RNG manipulation that you'd normally see in especially in Gen 4, pretty common you'd see. However, this is glitched, so we're going to see some cool glitches. Really excited. This game in general just hasn't really been showing off much, both at hotfix and main GDQ events, and especially in this context of it. So I'm really excited. No RNG manip runs also haven't been super common here as well. So excited to have one of the big no RNG manip pioneers here, Tucker, doing the run for us here. Also world record holder for this category. Tucker, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. Thanks for asking. And thanks for hosting. Excited to be here.
I'm so excited for this. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and then we can get into the run.
Yeah, my name's Tucker. I go by Tucker Lorette. I'm mainly a DS PSR, Pokemon speedrunner. And I'm playing Pokemon HeartGold for you guys today. This is probably my favorite game to run. And this category has become one of my favorites, honestly, because it has just such a cool route. I'm excited to show it off to you guys today. And I'm also joined by my commentator, TTS.
Hello, my name is TTS for life, or just TTS for short, to keep it simple. I'm a top Gen 5 runner, I should say, who also dabbles a lot in the Manipless categories in Gen 4 because I think they're really fun to pick up and play. So I'm looking forward to the awesome show that Tucker's going to be putting on for all of us today.
Yep, TTS is very knowledgeable and he will do a wonderful job on commentary today.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, so go ahead and count us into the run, and then we can explain more about what this actually is.
Yep. I'll count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, start. All right.
The timing here goes off of a soft reset, just because we like to include the entirety of the game with our timing. So
that is how every DS Pokemon run starts, with a soft reset or just a boot up of the game. Before I even started the run, I have set my date to January 1st. That's because at the end of the game, there is a fight in particular where it can hail. But if you set the date to a certain select couple of dates, then hail will not be present during the fight, and that makes it a lot faster.
Yeah, so in Gen 4 and Gen 5, there's a lot of dates signifying special holidays, like New Year's Day in this example. I think there's one for some of the Game Freak developers' birthdays or significant days like that, where instead of it being snowing in a lot of places, you get what's called diamond dust instead, and that does not come with hail. And that's really important for the last fight, because we will be going through the entire game. That means going all the way to red at the top of Mount Silver. A lot of RNG manipulation in this game does use setting the time and date in a specific way in order to hit your RNG seed. So even though we are doing a Manipless category, we're still kind of playing around with our date and time a little bit just to make that last fight a heck of a lot better than dealing with the hail, because the hail is just so bad.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a good time to bring up what does any percent mean in HeartGold Soul Silver?
Yeah, so any percent obviously you know from just generally speedrunning. It just means beat the game as fast as possible. In our case, that means to beat red, not just the champion. And there's no glitchless designation for this category. A lot of Pokemon speedruns, the most popular ones at least, tend to be glitchless, just the 100% glitchless category for all the games. But since we are allowed to use glitches, we are allowed to use one glitch in particular called tweaking in Generation 4. And tweaking just allows us to load in things that aren't supposed to be loaded in, just by doing a specific pattern of movement. There's a lot of different variations on what you can do and how you can tweak, but ultimately it's just funny how a lot of the tweaks are possible just because it's dependent on load lines, which is sort of a hidden thing in this game. But on the ground, there are going to be hidden load lines, and if you cross them in a certain pattern, then you can cause the void to load. You can load in different chunks of a map in a place where it's not supposed to be, and that's just how we are able to skip pretty much like every boring part of the run that you'd see in a glitchless run. Like this, the reason why I like this category so much is because the glitches just like eliminate a lot of the boring stuff, such as like radio tower, and quests like that are just like kind of a slog.
Yeah, and if all the explanation of what the glitches were about or how they work didn't make sense to you, don't worry. It will make more sense once you see them in a little bit.
Yeah, and there is quite a few of them in the run, and they're all very integral for what we do. Some of them skip, 3 or 4 badges. One of them skips 7. And by the end of the game, we're only going to have 5 badges to do the final fight. In a glitchless run, you need to get all 16 Johto and Kanto badges. So that just gives you an idea of how much we're skipping using tweaking.
Yeah, so tweaking may not be a term that a lot of people are familiar with. I know I didn't know what tweaking really meant. But for anyone as a kid who ever learned about like the big black void thing in Jubilife City, if you move around on the bike really, really fast, be prepared for that kind of shenanigans times like 100 once we get really into the run here.
Speaking about the run, while we were talking about tweaking, we're just doing like the general beginning to how Manipless runs go in HeartGold Soul Silver. We start off by picking Cyndaquil. We start off by setting our options to disable battle scenes and fast text, stuff like that you always see in speedruns with Pokemon.
Yeah. So we're picking Cyndaquil in particular because Cyndaquil has the best early game. In HeartGold and Soul Silver, the Sprout Tower is required. That was not the case in Gold, Silver, Crystal, which is why if you've ever seen a run of those games, they choose Totodile. Because we have to deal with a lot of Bellsprout, being a fire type is obviously the best as soon as we get access to Ember. Chikorita is just not really the best for the early game because you're dealing with Falconer right away, who's a flying type, and flying types absolutely destroy grass types. And Croconaw just doesn't do very well against Bayleaf in the Rival 2 fight. Bayleaf is just an absolute tank, and you'd have to spend a lot of time grinding to get Ice Fang in this game in order to make that fight semi-viable. Bugsy gives, I think, U-turn instead of Fury Cutter or something like that in this game, so that it's really hard for us to be able to efficiently take care of Rival 2 in that way.
Yep, Cyndaquil ends up being just the best option overall.
The nice thing about this category too is that we have not looked at Cyndaquil stats. That's because the Cyndaquil stats don't really matter. I say that as if they don't. There are certain fights where having like better special attack is way better. But what I mean by that is that even if you get like the worst Cyndaquil for like what is required in order to finish this run, you still can finish the run. It's just not as ideal when it comes to certain ranges or battles in general. It makes this category very nice to speedrun because you don't have to sit there grinding for like a top percentage of Cyndaquil or anything like that. So it makes this a very easy pick up and play category. The glitchless equivalent of this run that doesn't use tweaking is a lot more beginner friendly, but it is at the cost of being a lot longer. The glitchless equivalent of this category is just under 4 hours with a good run. Whereas you can see that this one is got an estimate of about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So,
yeah, and that 2 hour 40 estimate is pretty safe. It's just because the final 2 fights in the game can get really ugly. So I picked the 2 hour 40 minute estimate just so that even if I like die a lot, we're still probably going to get underestimate.
yeah.
With this category, you just have to play it safe. But yeah, my personal best in this category is 2 hours and 11 minutes. So it can easily just like be like 20 minutes underestimate if I just get a fairly clean run.
For sure, for sure. So definitely look out for the shenanigans near the end of the run. You definitely don't want to miss those fights because those fights are very intense, both as a viewer and a runner.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that when Tucker is going through the grass, he's walking. This is, I believe, the one game where walking and running versus through the grass has two different encounter rates. So we want to minimize encounters as much as possible to not get too many encounters here. Since this is a Manipless category, there's just an unfortunate chance that we're going to get a ton of encounters. So that could vary our starting time by quite a bit, just depending on how lucky we are.
Yeah, with Manipless categories, you have to deal with the randomness of stats. You can't avoid encounters like you would in Manip categories because you don't know ahead of time what you're going to get. But yeah, you can really get bombarded with encounters, and that's kind of one of the worst parts about running Manipless. I mean, it is still very competitive, but to have every run start with RNG with just encounters alone is a little silly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that traditional Pokemon games, you don't get repels until after the first gym badge. So there's just a lot of RNG in this beginning, and here comes the first rival fight.
Yep, this rival, not too hard. It can definitely go wrong if you miss with tackle, which is 95% accurate, or you get critical hit, which happens 1 in 16 times. But if none of those happen on a really inopportune time, then it should just be fine.
Yeah, so we're just going to leer twice here and then spam tackle. It's the best balance between weakening Totodile so that tackle does more and not having to spam tackle and hope that 5% doesn't come to bite us later.
And it didn't. So, here we go. And right here, I'm going to get my first look at my Syndical stats. Uh-oh. Okay. That is not a good special attack.
That looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all good. Not the greatest Syndical ever, but of course you can run just about anything. It's not the lowest tier special attack, but it is next to worst tier.
Yeah, as we said, any Cyndaquil can finish. So even though that we have a minus special attack, it's really unfortunate because we are going to use Ember a lot in this run, but we can still complete the run. So that's a nice caveat, at least. So to talk about IVs a little bit, basically in all of Cyndaquil's 6 stats, there is basically a scale of 0 to 31 that says how good this stat is compared to other Cyndaquil. 0 being the worst and 31 being the best. Obviously, we would really like everything to be at 31 IV because that means that our Cyndaquil is an absolute unit. But however, because this is a Manipless category, we're just kind of at the luck of the draw here. And we're also dealing with natures as well that can hinder stats. What natures do is they will boost one stat by 10% at the cost of another one by 10%. So by looking at Cyndaquil's 11 special attack, we can already kind of tell that our Cyndaquil here has minus special attack, which means that another stat is boosted 10%, but we don't know which one yet. Because Cyndaquil is such a low level, it's kind of hard to tell what a really good Cyndaquil versus a really bad Cyndaquil's defense or special defense or anything like that is. So it's still kind of up in the air, and that one can help us or not really do anything. It just kind of depends.
Yeah, and one of the tools that most Manipless runners will use is an IV calculator. Since you're not really gonna expect to keep track of your stats the whole run, you can just input it into this program and it'll sort of eliminate the possibilities of what your stats can be. And generally by the time we get to level 13, pretty much everything will be figured out and you can play accordingly to your Cyndaquil stats.
Yeah, so we're doing the catching tutorial here. This is the one reason why we picked the girl over the guy. When you play as the guy and Lyra is teaching you the catching tutorial, you tend to space out a little bit and she'll go run in the grass and catch something. And then she comes back and she's like, "Did you see that?" And you didn't. So she pulls you in and then you actually do the catching tutorial here. So that costs about 8 seconds. So that's why we choose to play as the girl instead.
this catching the turret has a little bit of silly RNG. The Meryl is like 50-50 to have huge power, which makes it deal more damage, which takes more time because in Generation 4, the HP bars go down by 1 HP per frame. So, yeah, more damage equals more time loss, which is what I got.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, now that we have access to catching Pokemon, nice encounter.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking for a Sentret. Sentret are 40%, is that right?
Yeah, 40.
Yeah, so we're going to be running through the grass now intentionally because we want to get this Sentret without too much of a hassle. Clearly, there's a swarm of Pidgey on the route right now or something. But we want to catch this Sentret. It's going to be our HM friend for the entirety of the run. We just want it to be able to use the necessary HMs to get through the run here without having to teach him anything else. So
3 in a row. But yeah, Sentret, the reason why we want Sentret is because it's the only thing that you can catch that learns Surf besides Slowpoke. Okay, Rattata's a 5%. Sentret learns Surf for us. It can also learn Cut. While Quilava can learn Cut, we'd rather teach it to Sentret. Just because, you know, you want its move slots. Alright, I made it to the last patch of grass without finding Sentret. Hopefully this time. There we go.
Alright,
and hopefully I don't crit it.
Yeah,
while I'm
that would,
this
that would definitely be awkward. Sentret also have a 10% of holding an Oranberry, so we're going to weaken it with 2 tackles, and under half is when an Oranberry would proc to heal 10 HP. And because everything is so low HP, it would just go back to full, which makes things really awkward.
Yeah.
So hopefully we catch this in 1 ball here. It's not guaranteed at this health, I don't think. It's close, but I don't think it's 100%, is it?
I think it is guaranteed. It's like 60... Like, the HP that you're thinking of, that's 78%, is like... What is it? It's like 58%.
Yeah, maybe that's...
And lower than that, it is guaranteed.
Okay. So now we can go back to walking through the grass, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's no Sentret on this route either, so...
Ran that tile, and I got punished. Yeah. So earlier during the run, I did kill a wild encounter. That does help a little bit on later on. After one of the Bellsprouts that we're going to fight in Bellsprout Tower, and after Faulkner, we're just going to get like those level ups a little earlier. And that'll just help for the preceding fights.
Yeah, if we fought the absolute minimum amount of trainers, which we're going to do anyway, but just with that EXP alone, we are just shy of level 14 finishing Faulkner, which means we would level up in Slowpoke well, which is a little sketchier, especially in Manipless, and because of the extra level helping us in certain areas like Tucker mentioned, we tend to kill an extra wild on the early game here just so that we can make some fights a little better for us.
Alright, nice.
Alright, so that was the hardest trainer in the run. That Rattata can be really tricky when it crits. It's always scary.
Yeah, not actually the hardest, but like people have died in just events of bad luck chained together. Yeah, got out pretty smoothly. We're almost there. Almost to Violet City.
Almost.
Yeah, so we're going to be stuck with just Tackle until we get to level 10. By level 10, we do learn Ember, and then Cynical really starts to shine.
Yeah, and some early game tech here that we haven't mentioned either that Tucker's doing is when he's getting an encounter, he's running for a couple tiles after the encounter. And that's just because there's a couple of immunity tiles after an encounter, so we want to take advantage of that to go a little bit faster by running. So
not a bad start. Not the greatest at all, but
no,
like
I
average.
mean, right. It's what you can expect from, you know, random encounter chance the whole way up to Violet and whatnot. So
Right. That was pretty much the bulk of all the encounters in the run. Because in Sprout Tower, while we can get encounters, it's a reduced chance. We're actually going to be running through Sprout Tower. Because
yeah,
running doesn't affect the encounter rate enough to make it worth it to walk.
yeah, the odds are just so low. It's worth it to run. It's just so much faster on average to do that. So we did flag the Violet Center there. If we die, we would go all the way back to Cherry Grove and have to come all the way back through all that grass. So we definitely don't want to do that if something goes wrong. There's definitely 2 scary fights in Violet in particular. One at the top of the tower here, and then the Faulkner fight can be kind of scary too. So we just want to flag that center so we don't have to come all the way back. It's just an added safety to the route.
Yeah, there's 2 fights that you can really suffer a lot from if you didn't take that center. Elderly at the top of this tower and Leader Faulkner. If you did die there and you didn't take the center, then you go all the way back to Cherry Grove. And then you'd have to deal with the whole encounter gauntlet over again on Route 30 and 31. Yeah. Every trainer here has spell sprouts, and Elderly at the end of this area has a Hoot Hoot, which is definitely scarier than a Bellsprout, but shouldn't be too much of a problem as long as I take it safely.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cyndaquil is just one of the later one of the starters that gets their first stab move Ember a little later than typical ones. Cyndaquil doesn't get it until level 10, so we're gonna get it right at the end of this fight here on the last on the second Bellsprout, I believe, is when we get to level 10 here.
Yeah.
So this is where our 95% tackle really gets to shine.
I don't think I've missed one yet, though. Which is
I don't
nice.
think you
That's a
have,
crit.
and that's a good crit.
Yeah, crits, as I mentioned before, 1 in 16 to happen, and they deal double the damage. And they also ignore negative modifiers, such as like lowered attack, or your opponent has increased defense.
Yeah, and there's also what are known as damage rolls that we haven't talked about yet. So when you're picking a move, the game will take the base power of the move and run it through this whole formula with your attack or special attack and your level and all that kind of stuff to come up with what the damage will actually do to the enemy. But once it comes up with that final number, what it does is it takes 16 values from 85% of what it calculated to 100%, and that becomes your damage rolls for that move. So if we ever talk about ranges, saying like, oh, this is like a 11 and 16 to kill, or a 15 and 16, or anything like that, it's because in that calculation, it just so happens that only some of those values between 85% and 100 will actually kill the Pokemon. So.
Yeah, our health is looking pretty good here. Not in real danger of like a pet crit from Hoot Hoot, so we're gonna be chilling.
Yeah, definitely. It is nice to be just outside of Blaze, because then you can really take advantage of Blaze, which is Cyndaquil's special ability, which boosts its fire type attacks by 1.5 times if it's at or below 33% of its health. So this is a really good health for Hoot Hoot, because we definitely really want to take advantage of stronger attacks while we can, because Hoot Hoot has a move called Hypnosis, which could put us to sleep. I believe it's 60% accurate in this gen. And putting us to sleep just means Hoot Hoot is going to sit there and wail on us. So if we can try to minimize the amount of turns we give Hoot Hoot by having access to stronger Ember, we're definitely going to take advantage of that.
Yeah. If you noticed, after each trainer, I am intentionally bonking onto them so that I one, it's faster, and two, in areas where there are encounters, you can bonk to skip one instance of a turn frame, which is basically your character like turning around before they start moving in a different direction if they're stationary. And that can trigger an encounter. More on turn frames later, about an hour into the run. But yeah, we just want to skip turn frames because they're pretty slow.
Alright, so here's our Hoot Hoot here. Hopefully it'll play nice here. We're not quite in the Blaze yet, but we should get Blaze for this last hit here. Oh,
unless that happens.
Hypnosis miss.
Hypnosis miss. Alright, that's fine.
Alright, well, yeah, we'll take that. I mean... and then we crit, right? That's always how it goes with Pokemon, so...
It's classic stuff here.
Alright, so I just noticed, did I see 24 speed at level 12 there?
Oh, I don't know. Did you?
I thought that's what I saw.
Okay. We're just going to say it's 24. Because I was looking at my defense.
Gotcha.
But I really should have been looking at my speed. It's a good call.
That's fine, though, because you're going to level up to 13 right before Pidgeotto. So the reason we're paying attention to speed is because the Falkner's Pidgeotto has 24 speed, and there are some Cyndaquil that can also have 24 speed. And when your speed matches the opponent's speed, what happens is you end up in what's called a speed tie. And it's basically a coin flip whether or not you go first or the opponent goes first. And that makes the Falkner fight about as bad as it could be. Preferably, you're slower than Pidgeotto, so you can try to take advantage of Blaze. Faster is also fine, too. But there's only a small subset of Cyndaquil that can be faster. This just happens to be one that will be. A lot of the time, you're always going to be slower, so...
Yeah,
here's our first fight.
You do need quite a good amount of speed to just outspeed Pidgeotto.
Yes. So here's our first fight with the leader Falkner here. We're going to be hoping that Pidgey doesn't use Sand Attack. Sand Attack drops our accuracy by one stage and makes Pidgeotto a lot worse. So that's unfortunate. But what we'll just do is we'll just switch to Centrate here to get our accuracy back when we know we can kill Pidgey. Since it's at 1 HP, that minus special attack, it's just kind of expected that Pidgey's going to be a range, so...
Yeah, what actually happened is I missed a 51% range on Pidgey. You saw that first roll do just about half. Actually, I have 25 speed because you saw 24 at 12, so...
Yeah,
I will outspeed Pidgeotto.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Pidgeotto is kind of a troll here. As soon as we damage it, it's a 50-50 to start using Roost. So we're going to really hope that it errs on the side of not using Roost because Ember does not a lot of damage. This is a really good fight.
Yeah, Ember's not doing much damage. Oh, Burn is nice, but we get the Roost there. I'm okay. Roost heals Pidgeotto by 50%. Every time he uses it, it can really delay the fight here. Nothing you can do, really. Just 50-50 every turn to use it.
Yeah.
Every time
we're not in Blaze either.
Yeah, every time that it's not at full HP, it can pick Roost. And because of that burn there, it otherwise wouldn't have a chance to pick Roost there. Hopefully it doesn't crit me. Okay, good.
Perfect. Yeah, now we're in here. Blaze at least. Yeah, and the burn tick, so.
Yeah.
Not the greatest fight after the Roost spam kind of kicked up there, but otherwise, you know, it's a good start, so.
Yeah. We'll take it. Just didn't want to die there. I mean, that's all I could ask.
I know.
Did we explain what Blaze is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When you're below 1/3 health, your fire moves get a 1.5 times damage boost.
Yes.
Very good ability. And it honestly like isn't great for like competitive. Like it's definitely good, but it's really good for speedruns. It's odd how that works to me. You know, I just think about it sometimes. We just love the starter abilities because it's so often useful.
Like, I don't know. I think the competitive people are sleeping on Blaze and Cineroar is all I'm saying.
Said no one ever.
All right, so now we're done with Violet. We got to do some kind of some petty stuff here. Professor Elm's got an egg for us that he wants us to hatch. We're probably not going to hatch it.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to do our first shopping here. So we're going to go ahead and buy some supers now that we can, just so we can heal our health, because potions aren't going to do it here. We're also going to buy some antidotes because we're going to be dealing with some poison types pretty shortly here. So we want to be able to heal poison, and we're also going to buy as many repels as we can, since now we don't really want to deal with encounters anymore.
Yep. We have to take this egg to progress. That's basically it.
Yes.
One thing to note about that Faulkner fight is that I used a ton of Ember PP. I won't have enough for a Slowpoke well. So what I'm going to do here is go to a Pokemon Center and heal my Cyndaquil in the box. That way my PP is restored. But I can't take the Azalea PC, which is in the next town. I have to take this conveniently placed PC on the Route 32. And that's because we're going to get into our first tweak here after Union Cave. This tweak allows us to just skip like a little excursion that we have to do. We have to go to Kurt's house in order to make him make the rocket grunt that's standing in front of Slowpoke Well go down, so that we can actually progress. Do I need my exit? No, I don't need exit. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
oh, actually,
said...
I'll just keep that to myself. Yeah, we're just gonna heal here.
Yeah, so we're going to heal here. We're also going to head into Union Cave to get to Azalea. So we're going to have our first instances of spinners in this game. So spinners are trainers that can look in multiple directions. They look in multiple directions every 32 frames, I believe it is. Or at least they could. So what they do is that they decide to spin on a whim. And what we have to do is we kind of have to get past them safely. So what we're going to do is we're going to do... one of two methods in order to skip them here. Are you picking up the exit tech?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
My Quilava is fine.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to be 2 tiles away from this hiker's vision, wait for him to turn away and menu just like that, and then we can walk into his vision and then run out without being seen. So it is the most consistent way to get past a spinner. And then, as Tucker said, we're going to be getting into the first tweak here. So Tucker's going to be doing some kind of wonky looking movement here, right here. So that right there, what that did is that caused the NPCs in this next area here to deload. So as you can see, the ghosts are speaking to us right now.
Some voices in my head
or whatever.
I can't get them
right.
out.
So normally there'd be like some old guy and a rocket grunt here, and the rocket grunt would come in the way of the well here.
Yeah.
But because he's deloaded, we can just go straight into the well. And you can also see our height got a little screwed up there.
Yeah, we're on the wrong axis there, and that clearly didn't look accurate. How we got into that well and through that spiral. We don't repel here in Slowpoke Well. It's also a low encounter chance, so it's kind of lucky that we got one. But
yeah, that was unlucky.
Yeah.
So yeah, that skipped us having to go to Kurt all the way on the left side of Azalea Town, and he has this whole sequence about getting mad about Team Rocket grunts and all this stuff and goes to save the well. So that kind of skips all that. That's also why we can't go to the Azalea Center. We went to the Route 32, I think it is, Center instead.
Yeah.
Because if we go over there, it kind of screws up how we do the tweak. We'd have to go like back and reload Union Cave or something like that.
Yeah, if you cross a load line again after you do a tweak, then it pretty much resets the tweak. And that would make it so that we actually have to do all that stuff that we're supposed to skip, so we can't go any further in Azalea.
So for those who might not know what we mean when we're talking about load lines and stuff, if you've ever heard about that hit game Minecraft, I don't know, it's kind of a hit, kind of an old thing these days. I don't know how many people really play it anymore, but so Minecraft has what are called like chunks, right? It's that 9x9 section that gets loaded in as you get close to them, and deload as you're far away from them or what have you. This game kind of loads the same. So there's 32 by 32 chunks in this game. And those kind of load in as you cross what are called load lines. So what we're doing with these load lines is we're finding where two load lines intersect, and we're kind of going between them really quickly. And what that does is it kind of screws up how the game loads, which chunks it should be where. And that lets us do a lot of really crazy things. This one was a little different because all it did was deload some NPCs, but don't worry, we're going to see some really crazy ones coming up.
Yeah, this is the only one that we can do before we get the bike. We get the bike in the next town, in Goldenrod. And that unlocks just a lot of possibilities for tweaks, because it pretty much depends on... So a lot of the tweaks are just like bike exclusive because you need to go fast to trick the game into loading things, or you otherwise can't with running. Yeah, with high HP, Slowpoke is not really too much of an issue. A lot of things can just like supersonic you, like the Zubats here. The Ekans could like poison you, but any of that is just manageable. Yeah, we got confused here, 50-50 through.
Yep.
There we go.
So here's Patrol. He's the leader of operations. Proton, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The other one that starts with a P.
We will not be seeing Petrol in this game.
Sad. All the Petrol fans in tears.
Cries and coughing.
Yeah, so this is the most... ooh, that's scary. So this coughing here has Smog, and Smog is a good chance to poison us. That's why, for the most part, we bought the antidotes, was in case this coughing poisons us. It is also even scarier if we're at low HP trying to take advantage of Blaze, which we're not. So fortunately, this looks like it's going to be a 3-hit because of the minus special attack that we have on.
What a roll.
Oh, I lied. Right. What was that?
That was probably a 1 in 16, I have to guess.
Yeah, that had to be like a 1 in 16 high roll and like a 1 in 16 mid roll or something slashed together. That was crazy.
I think that's just a normal bad roll, and then 1 in 16.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we are done with Slowpoke Bell. The first thing that I'm going to be doing immediately after I get actionable again is go to the Pokemon Center, heal back up, and then we're going to try to head left of Azalea Town, and then get stopped by our rival to fight him.
Yeah, so there's a small diversion in Azalea Town on what we want to do next, kind of depending on our stats. So you can either do Rival 2 at the gate leaving Azalea, or you can fight Bugsy first. Because we're minus special attack, it is more beneficial for us to do Rival 2 first, so that we get a couple extra levels before trying to deal with Bugsy. Since Ember will be our best move for Bugsy, and the Bugsy fight is, in general, really scary. So we're going to do Rival 2 for those extra levels first. Rival 2 is still a scary fight on its own, and I'll let Tucker get into that here as we start that fight.
Yeah, so Rival 2 starts with a Ghastly. This Ghastly is 21 in 64 to pick Curse. Curse is just a really bad move at this point in the game. We need Centred alive just to deal with that in case it uses Curse so that we can get rid of it. And also Ghastly doesn't die in one hit. Luckily he didn't go for it and went for the best move possible, which is a mean look. And then the real big problem here is this Croconaw. This Croconaw learned Water Gun, well, since the last time that we fought Rival. There it is. It's not actually supposed to choose Water Gun yet, because it's highly likely to pick Scary Face here. There we go. And it will keep picking Scary Face until I'm minimum speed at -6. So it's gone for 2 so far. I'm expecting 1 more. There we go.
Yeah,
and
so
as you see, Water Gun does about 20 to me.
Yeah, so trainers with smart AI is what we call it. What they'll do is if they can see a kill, they'll go for it. So if Croconaw can see that Water Gun has a chance to kill, then it will pick it. So that was a torrent hit. That was a little scary because now we activated Croconaut's special ability, which boosts its water type moves when we're at a third or less.
What was supposed to, what the fight normally is like you use Tackle on that turn where I use Quick Attack to put it into Torrent. The reason why I did that instead is because I saw that my rolls weren't looking too good with Quick Attack. It did like exactly half. Tackle is 5 base power lower than Quick Attack, so it would make it pretty dicey for me to go for one of the tackles there. So I had to check if I was going to live a Torrent Water Gun hit at that moment, and I was, so I went for a Quick Attack there instead.
So we're doing a quick switch here to get rid of the confusion. It's kind of twofold. One, so we don't have to try to hit through confusion on Zubat, and two, because we don't want Sentret alive while we go into the gym. Nice crit. There's going to be a double battle in Bugsy's gym, but if we only have one Pokemon alive, the double fight won't see us, so we can just get by them without any issue, and that's a little bit faster than putting Sentret back in the PC.
Yeah, and that's also just like the best place in the fight to use it because you are slower than Zubat after all the scary phases, and I was confused.
Yes.
By Supersonic. Yeah, just doing a lot there with that Sentret sacrifice. Unfortunately, that is often Sentret's job in the speedrun, to get sacrificed.
It does a valiant job at it, let me tell you.
Yes.
It's phenomenal at tanking hits. So we're going to be coming up on Bugsy here. Bugsy is a really tricky fight, especially because we're minus special attack. So he's going to be leading a Scyther, and this Scyther has the ability Technician. What that does is it boosts the power of lower base power moves. And what Scyther is going to be doing is it's going to be using Quick Attack against us, which does get boosted by Technician. It also has Leer and Focus Energy. Focus Energy, what it does is it raises its chance of landing a critical hit. It'll go from a 1 in 16 to land a crit to a 1 in 8. So it makes the fight a little less consistent because a poorly timed crit can make things very bad for us. If we can get a Blaze hit off with Ember, that makes things a lot easier depending on the context. Scyther does have a Citrus Berry too, which will proc when it's lower than, was it half its health that Citrus will proc and heal 25%? Yeah. And Bugsy also has Super Potions, so it's going to be kind of a tricky fight to navigate with Ember. We're going to be spamming Ember for the most part and praying that we can get through this fight without too much of an issue. The rest of the fight is a breeze because it just has a Metapodic Kakuna, and all they do is Harden. And since we're using Ember, which is a special move, that won't be a problem. But we're going to heal the full here just because it needs to be as safe of a fight as we can.
Mm-hmm. Now you might be wondering, like, why aren't we saving before these, scary fights? It's just because, like, it's not going to be worth it because we did take the Pokemon Center. So if we do die, then we don't lose too much money for losing. And also we get respawned right away, like, in the same town, so we can just go back. And saving takes quite a while in this generation. As a critical hit right off the bat.
That is a really good crit. That is a good crit.
Yeah, hoping this can kill it from here. I have my doubts, but I got another crit.
Oh, another crit! Would you look at that?
It's just so easy. It's just so easy. I mean,
I spent like a whole minute. I spent a whole minute hyping up this fight and how like tricky it is, and then you just double crit.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely die to Rattletu and Bugsy, but
yes,
sometimes lucky.
Because because these categories are so easy to pick up and play, and because any stats will let you finish the run. This is a very popular category to be raced, actually, amongst members of the Gen 4 and 5 and communities. So it is very common in larger scale races that at least someone ends up taking a death on either Rival2 or Bugsy. It's just the name of the game in Azalea.
Yep, so honestly, pretty smooth in Azalea. Yes. Not the fastest split, but
no,
I like how the fights went.
Right.
Yeah, we taught Flame Wheel there at the end of that fight. We are going to do 2 more fights with Quilava, but for the most part, Quilava's time is actually done. Because we're going to switch our main before the next fight.
Yes, sir. But first, we have this big scary forest to go through. Not a whole lot to say about this forest. We're basically just going to be finding some Farfetch'd for this, was that trainer class, like schoolboy or something? School nerd? I can't remember.
School kid?
School kid? I don't remember. But anyway, he's like chopping up some like wood or whatever in here for one particular house in Azalea or something like that. So we have to try and take care of his Farfetch'd for him. So we have to sneak up on them really precisely. So they are only caught if we talk to them from exactly behind. And we can use these sticks here to manipulate him to look in a certain direction. So this was kind of the tutorial one here, and then the second one will be the real one. The most things that we're worried about is just being efficient with our repel steps here.
Yeah, and I actually repelled way before. Could have gotten an encounter, like before you even entered the forest. That's just going to make it a little faster when this repel wears out, so that we can teach cut on the same menu that we repel again. That's just like because a little time save that we do to optimize menuing.
Yeah, because chain repelling, where you get like that prompt to reuse a repel after one wears off, didn't become a thing until Black and White 2. We want to try to chain those repel menus as much as possible to be efficient with other things like teaching HUBs and stuff. So with Tucker's movement, as he said, right as he comes up to this cut tree, his repair will off. So he will go into the menu to use another one, and then he'll also teach cut to center it at the same time. Does he just like that? And we did pick up a revive there. It is a part of safety. We can't really buy revives yet, so it's nice that we get one this early, because there is a little bit of variance that could require us to use a revive, especially in the next gym. So it's nice to have that as a backup, because otherwise we'd wipe all the way back to, in this route in particular, Route 32, and that would be a long ways coming back. But since we're going to be coming up on Goldenrod pretty shortly, we will at least have access to the bike. But
yeah, don't want to be wiping back to Azalea. The revive pretty much makes it so that it's like nearly impossible to get a wipe on in the next gym fight. I don't want to say impossible, because it kind of depends on what Clefairy does. But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's played HeartGold or Gold Silver Crystal, you know who's coming up next. Everyone's favorite gym leader.
Yep, it's Whitney. She has a very fear-inducing Miltank, especially if all your Pokemon are male. Luckily, the main that we're switching to is gifted to us, is a level 20 already, evolves after one level, and is female, and is faster than Miltank. All these things play really well into our favor to deal with the next gym, which would give pretty much any other Pokemon a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get there, because we're like minutes away. But yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, in like 2020, I want to say, that's when like this category kind of took off, and that's like kind of when we realized like what means we can use to deal with this game in a much better way. Like before then, we were kind of just like thinking like Cyndaquil and its evolutions up to Typhlosion are the best to deal with the game in a Manipless setting. But ever since the route changed to accommodate for the way better mains that we use in Manipless, these categories kind of took off. They're also like very beginner friendly and race friendly as well. You can see a lot of people race this category and even play in tournaments for this category because it's so raceable. There's just like a lot of those backups that I was talking about, say like dying in Azalea, it like doesn't end your run. You can generally like just start a run and then complete it without much preparation.
Yeah.
Gotta know the backups. Alright, finally we're getting the bike here in the bike shop. First order business when we get to Goldenrod.
And the bike is where the magic really starts to happen.
Yep. We're gonna start right away with a sequence break. We're skipping the radio card, which would get Whitney back to the gym, because we're going to tweak. We're going to tweak into the gym.
Yes.
And when we tweak into the gym, Whitney is going to be there, because for whatever reason, they don't actually remove Whitney from the gym. You just are not expected to get in with the guard in the way.
Yeah. So
right
there's our new main there, Kenya the Spearow, and now we're gonna go ahead and tweak into the gym. So that little movement right there puts us under the ground like this, and also loads the route above us to be in Goldenrod. He just did a second tweak there, and what that does is that keeps him under the map so that he can sneak right under this last right here. It's very clean.
Brand. Yeah, that tweak just saves us the time from getting the radio card.
Which involves a pretty lengthy quiz where you're just mashing A and B to say yes and no to some trivia questions.
Right. All these tweaks are found pretty much like 10 years ago, maybe even more. We've known about them for a while. Yeah, it's just kind of like we built the any percent route from there. These tweaks are so powerful for saving time.
For sure. So these Jigglypuff are 14 and 16, and that really sucks that we missed that one there. Because as you saw, Jigglypuff then went for Disable. But now we don't have access to Aerial Ace. So we're going to have to just spam Fury Attack and pray.
This will kill in 4 hits if I get as lucky as I wish. Nope. Okay.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Normally don't ever have to use Fury Attack, but if this happens, then you do have to use it.
For sure.
We also got hit there. You can pretty reasonably get a gym where you don't have to take damage before the fight, and thus you don't have to heal before Whitney. But we already took damage, so we're gonna have to heal.
Yeah, this Snubble, for example, likes to spam Scary Face until it becomes faster, and then it'll start attacking us, and if it misses a Scary Face, that usually means that we can take care of it without taking damage, which is really nice when that happens. We can also just crit. This is normally a 3-shot because Snubble has Intimidate, which drops our attack by 1 stage and makes it a little weaker. But if we crit, the nice thing about critting is that it ignores all the negative attack that we have from Intimidate and makes it as if we didn't get intimidated. So it just makes it a, I believe it's a 1-shot if you crit full, right?
Yes, because it will deal 3 times the damage that you just saw.
Yeah.
All right. As I said before, 1 level is all it takes to evolve Spearow, Kenya the Spearow. And it becomes a Fearow, which is a lot better and a lot more capable to deal with Whitney.
Yes. We also taught it Mirror Move. The reason we did is also twofold. One, because it allows us to copy Miltank's Stomp, which helps us save Aerial Ace PP and is also a little more consistent for getting through the fight. It's also because Fearow would try to learn Mirror Move again after it leveled up because of how their moves that they want to learn as they level up and when they evolve kind of line up. So strap in. Here comes Whitney. She's going to lead with a Clefairy that sometimes likes to waggle its finger. Sometimes it likes to just use Mimic, and then it's a free fight. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, this fight is honestly... Okay, that's pretty funny.
That's just fair.
Out of all things to see Milk Drink on this fight, this is not one of them. Yeah, unfortunately, that Milk Drink just put her in a very awkward HP. That makes it want to heal when she gets below 25%.
Yes.
But yeah, whatever. We are losing a bunch of Aerial Ace VP, which I will probably have to use my Ether on, which is fine.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna set up a couple Leers here to put Miltank at -2 because then it makes the Mirror Move a 2-shot. The nice thing about Stomp 2 is it has a 10% chance to flinch.
A 30%
hopefully we
chance.
just flip 30% to flinch. Would you look at that?
And there it is. 30%. A lot bigger than you think.
Yes. So that helps us just be at a lot cleaner of an HP too, because otherwise we'd hit 1 more Stomp, and a Stomp max roll here is 21 on Kenya. So this just makes it so we don't have to heal for some of the upcoming fights.
Yeah, it's not very often that you die to Whitney at all. Like, you tank 3 stomps and you deal with Miltank in 4 hits, and you only give it 3 turns because you are faster.
Yeah. Even if you take a death, you picked up that revive in Ilex so that you can just like send out Quilava to back while you revive Kenya or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You do have to be careful though, because rollout can get really tricky to navigate. Whitney's Miltank won't go for rollout unless you're really low HP. I don't know what it's like if you send out like Quilava or something. But if you let that rollout build up, it could be really disastrous for Kenya.
Yeah, but usually when you die to Miltank, it's like on the before it's nearly dead, so you just send out Kenya outspeed and kill it. Because the Leer defense drops are still there. So yeah, it's like rarely ever that you're gonna like actually wipe the fight. Pretty.
You also want to make sure. You also want to make sure when it does use rollout that you don't accidentally mirror move it and end up in a rollout battle of the death. I've done that before. I won, but I'm not proud to say that. But now we're going to do another tweak here. So what this tweak is going to do is it's going to let us skip a bunch of the trainers on this route. So just like that, there's a bunch of trainers you'd normally see on this route, but they're just all gone. There's also a cut tree there that you'd usually see, but that's just gone. 2
trainers that you skip, 2 spinners that you skip, and then the cut tree as well. It's a lot.
Yes. A lot of just petty fighting that is really nice to cut out in this category.
Yeah. If I had failed that tweak by crossing the load line and then not like completing the tweak, then I'd have to do like a slower backup. But luckily, you got a first try. It's like one of the easiest ones to do in the game because you're at a standstill.
Yeah, that one's also a lot more fun because what happens with that backup tweak is all of the top half of Goldenrod gets dumped to the top half of the route where National Park would be and stuff. So it's really fun to navigate through the city. But it's also a lot more annoying because you could still get seen by certain trainers because they don't actually deload when you do the backup.
Yeah. All right. This is one of the fights that Quilava is seen again because it is a double battle. Luckily, both Barmons are pretty well equipped to take care of it. Troll things can't happen here, though.
Yeah, there can be some finger waggling on this one, too, because we're up against a Clefable and Wigglytuff. So. They also have Encore, and what Encore does is it locks us into a specific move, and while we're in a double battle, it doesn't let us choose who we're going to use that move on. So if we get like Encore on Kenya, it'll just be spraying Aerial Ace at whatever, which doesn't make things very nice, because we want to be able to take out a Pokemon on each turn so that we only get hit once. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Clefable range there, so we had to take 2 hits there, but Cute Charm is also not great.
Yeah, actually,
now it's a 50-50 to hit.
Actually, like, kind of misplayed there, so I think I was supposed to target the left side because I didn't have Blaze on my Quilava.
Oh, shit.
And Wigglytuff would die. You just want to take out a Pokemon per turn, but to not take out that Clefairy there was definitely a bad thing.
Yeah, the Super Potion there to heal Kenya was definitely the safest play you could do here.
Yeah.
And yeah, Quilava is just a coin flip at this point to be useful.
Yeah, unluckily it got Q Charm to trigger, which is 30%.
Yeah.
And
it's
this
also nice
Clefable will be tough to take out as well.
Yeah, it's also nice that we can keep better track of our health by pressing start. That lets us see the actual raw values of our health instead of the bars. A lot of people don't know that. I don't know that it was ever explained like anywhere that you can do that. You can do it in both Gen 4 and Gen 5 in like triple battles.
Yeah, in fights where like these double battles where like it hides your HP value.
Yeah. So we're going to YOLO a little bit of grass there. Kenya's ability is Keen Eyes, and what that does in the overworld is it actually helps lower the encounter chance. Some people will get off the bike and walk because that's the least amount of chance to get through the grass without an encounter, but Tucker ain't got time for that, so we'll just bike straight through it.
Yeah, I also don't have the money for it either in this route.
Right, yeah, we're just short that repel. Now we gotta take care of this Rocket Grunt who thinks he's a ballerina dancer or something. It's a 13 and 16 to take care of this coughing, unless it's worse because you've fought less trainers.
It's still a 13-16.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, my HP is 53 and 30. Just gonna make note of that for the next fight, because there's a lot of ways you can deal with the next fight.
Yes. So we're gonna be fighting a rival again in Burn Tower, and depending on our health will be how we handle the fight. The biggest thing about that fight is that the rival has a Magnemite now, and that Magnemite usually likes to go for Thunder Wave unless we can bait it out to use Thunder Shock or something. A safety strat that we can do is to send Sentret out on Magnemite in order to take that static hit so that we can get a free swap in for Cool Lava to take care of it. So it just kind of depends on how your health is set up, how you really want to handle that fight efficiently. But now we're going to handle some shopping. We're going to buy a netball because we're not done catching things quite yet. We're going to be switching to a main here pretty soon. It'll be, I think, a fan favorite for sure. But we're going to pick up some supers, some revives, a couple awakenings because Morty's gym has a lot of hypnosis users. We're also going to buy an escape rope here to get out of a cave later. And super repels that'll hopefully stretch us until the next shopping. Yeah. It's going to be really tight with these repels, so we're going to be using them as efficiently as we can. We're also going to pick up a secret rare candy here to help our next main get a couple extra levels right off the bat. But yeah, Burn Tower, so...
yeah, no, that's right.
We're going to use our Ether here on Aerial Ace because we don't have the Aerial Ace to get through Morty's gym in this fight combined. So we're just going to use it now because otherwise what we'd be using in Morty's gym is Pursuit. And we save time using Aerial Ace. I didn't know you could turn frame like that there. Holy smokes.
Yeah, you can do that.
So Pursuit against Ghastly is super effective. So we'd be seeing the super effective text a lot of the time. Otherwise with Aerial Ace, it's still one-shots, but we skip that super effective. If we have the Aerial Ace PP, we'd rather just use Pursuit instead of spending the time to Ether and then have to pick up another one later to kind of make up for using that one early. So yeah, it's just unfortunate that we got a slightly less than ideal Whitney fight, but yeah, so here comes Magnemite. So it has Thunder Wave, so we're hoping for no Thunder Wave.
Yeah, otherwise we're just gonna deal with it. We still have a full heal, so
yeah,
it'll be fine. If that comes down.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's not the worst.
To hit through it.
Yeah, it's not the worst because
nice.
When you're paralyzed, it's only a 25% to actually lose a turn to being like full parried, where you get that it's paralyzed, you can't move.
Yeah.
So the odds are against us, or with us, sorry, to hit that turn, but Magnemite also can confuse us with
yeah, it will.
Things even scarier.
We'll also prioritize Supersonic there. So if that Supersonic did hit, okay, now you're seeing paralysis happen. If that Supersonic did hit, oh my god.
12.5.
Then forward full heal. Oh my god.
Oh my.
I'm gonna heal Golava here. It's okay. I want these Leers.
Yeah, we really want to get Leers off with Kulava here on Croconaw because Croconaw has Ice Fang now, and Ice Fang does a lot of damage to Kenya, and we'd really like to weaken up Croconaw for...
oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, well, I was fearing that this would happen.
Well, at least you're above Ice Fang range, right?
Yeah. So hopefully just scary faces, like, we don't have to deal with them.
Yeah, alright.
Ice Fang. Alright, I got a good roll too, so this will die. Alright. Ice Fang is very scary. It does 36 with normal rolls and 37 with a max roll.
Yeah.
So, like, if I were to heal Kenya there and then it goes for Ice Fang, it would still put me, like, under half and go for another Ice Fang again if it got a high roll. Okay, luckily Zubat missed. You are slower than Zubat. After its scary faces, it also missed again. Alright, nice.
Alright,
only a 25% range on Zubat because you are only level 24. Whereas in the glitchless route, you are 25, and that's just not a range anymore. But since you skipped, 2 trainers, you have less XP. So
yeah,
you have to deal with that.
That was clean. So now we're gonna go and awaken the beasts because we have to do that to advance the story. And fun fact, Tucker took a 1-up there. We only figured that out like this year, that it's actually slightly faster to go up like that.
Yeah, it was kind of a silly realization.
Like, how did no one realize this kind of moment? Or like, how did no one test this? It's slightly faster because Yuswin doesn't have to like run all the way around us to like talk to us or whatever, because he's really excited to tell us about Suicune. So he has to come down and tell us, and it just helps us minimize the amount of steps he has to take. We're also going to be picking up an extra Ultra Ball because we do need one more ATEM friend. We're going to get to that in a little while, but we're going to pick up that Ultra Ball for now so that we can catch him. So now we're going to Morty's gym. This is probably one of the slowest sections of the game, I'd say. Especially this fight in particular, because she has 5 Ghastlies and all you're doing is clicking Aerial Ace or Pursuit. This gym is kind of scary because whenever you give something a turn, it has a chance to use Curse, and Curse takes off a lot of health at the end of every turn, so we definitely don't want that to happen. Fortunately, we're pretty high HP here, so we don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's just a lot of Ghastly and Haunter, and then also being really precise with our movement, because this gym's puzzle is that there's like a 1 tile wide like path that you have to like navigate around with all these trainers and stuff, and when you beat them, like their lights shut off, so you have to like go around them, but you can't see. So you definitely don't want to fall off, because it's time loss to get warped back to the start and have to start the puzzle over from the beginning. It's also slightly like tilting when you fall.
Yeah.
Especially when you fall like a second or third time, because you're like, come on, this shouldn't be that like big of a deal, you know?
It's movement that like you should be getting like every time if you play the game like long enough, but it will happen every once in a while. I would not be surprised if I were to fall on one specific one.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely 1 or 2 trickier sections here. Third and fourth ones in particular, I like to find to be the more difficult ones to deal with.
Yeah, the one after this one. So, yeah. None of these ones are tricky, but there will be one that I'll call out. But honestly, like, I've played this game, like, so many times. Like, I've been speedrunning it for 3 years now, going on. Like, every time that I'm, like, rusty in this game and I come back to here, like, I'm just, like, you know, I don't feel confident, but then, like, I always go for the movement, and then, like, I tend to just get it. Like, it's like muscle memory for me.
Right.
It ain't nothing to me, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so as I said, we're just hoping for no curses here. We do have to give this Haunter a turn. I believe it's this one, right?
Yeah, that's Haunter. You can't one-hit it with Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is your strongest move, even with Pursuit super effective damage, because Aerial Ace is 90 base. But luckily, this Haunter just really likes to go for Sucker Punch anyway, so you can Leer. And then not take that Sucker Punch hit.
Yeah. So with Aerial Ace as well, you get what's called the same type attack bonus, or stab for short, which means if you're a flying type like Kenya and you use a flying move, you get 1.5 times damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the
trickiest movement right there.
Yeah.
Because you can't actually see. The trick is you're supposed to run straight up to her, and she's like, oh, I see you, even though you're like halfway up, and you're like, what's the deal? And then she walks down and she kind of reveals the
hidden path
of her light.
Yeah, right. That you're supposed to like backtrack and go around, but then if you just like do that, then she doesn't walk as far to you, and that's time save.
Yeah. If you do miss it, it's not a big deal then, because her position resets and the lights are back on, so it's really easy to do it. But because I'm tilted, I'll still do it just to prove to myself that I can do that movement, even though it's technically time loss because you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah. So all these mediums, easy to defeat.
Yeah. So now we're coming up on Morty here. Morty is a interesting fight. We're definitely hoping for not a curse.
Yeah.
We're also...
There's this 50-50 range on this first Haunter that's coming up. It can generally like derail if you miss that range, and then like it hits like Hypnosis or like it goes for Curse. But we have backups for each case. Hopefully we just get the range though. It's 50-50.
Yeah, if we get put to sleep, Haunter likes to use Dream Eater, so we're gonna take that as an advantage. if necessary. So 50-50, nice. Oh, okay,
nice
just crit it then.
There's been a lot of good crits in this run. I won't lie.
Yes. Yeah, so when you crit, you do double damage, so that just takes the range completely out of question. So now we're going to set up an X attack here that'll boost our attack stage by 1 as Gengar does something. Mean look is clean.
Yep.
And then we're going to chip it with Pursue.
We're going to X attack and then double attack it. This is a little different compared to what we do in Glitchless because what we do in Glitchless is Leer, X attack, and Aerialites kill it from full, and we skip triggering the berry. But in this category, you are 1 level lower on Gengar, so it's a 15 and 16 range, and I just didn't want to go for it because it's the same amount of turns, and it's like
understandable.
Just not that much.
All right, so otherwise, yeah, that's the end of Morty here. This Haunter goes down, no problem. So
yep,
that's kind of the end of the early game here.
Yeah, end of the Kenya section. We're gonna switch to a new main. Kenya did a really good job. It's just very useful for Morty's gym as well, if you couldn't already tell, because it's normal typing and it's fast and strong. It has good moves for the gym.
Yes, for sure.
I think that's right about where we're gonna take an intermission.
Yeah, you can just count it down, whatever.
All right, 3, 2, 1, pause.
Cool. So yeah, here on Hotfix, we do a couple breaks throughout the runs, then they are over an hour long. So we're gonna do a quick break here, give everyone a chance to get some water, stretch, do what you gotta do, and then we'll be back in just a few minutes with the rest of this run, so don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the GDQ Hotfix. We are in the middle of a Pokemon HeartGold Any Manipless speedrun, so it's no RNG manipulation, but glitches, A-OK. We're about to enter the most exciting part of the run, which I'm very excited for everyone to see here. But before we get into that, I just want to make a couple announcements. One is that registration is live for Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. If you'd like to attend the event in person from January 14th through the 21st, go to gamesdonequick.com for more info, including attendee registration and hotel booking. And be sure to check out the schedule at gamesdonequick.com/schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to the most. And also, GDQ is hiring, so if you're a business developer or have experience in recruiting sponsorships and would like to work for GDQ, apply at gamesdonequick.com/jobs. Tucker, let's go fishing.
Let's go fishing. I'm one of Bass Pro Shop's most strong patroners, so I'll definitely make them proud right here. All right, just a countdown to get started again.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, quickly fall off here to get out of this gym. Fell off.
Bro, fell
hard
off.
plus ratio. And we're gonna go to a little pond here. This pond will hopefully contain a really, really strong Magikarp.
I hope it's really strong, dude. We need a strong one. That last gym was like, what, level 30 something?
Yeah, I need more. I need like a 32? Lot more. No, not
34.
No, that's not enough for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking like way higher.
Okay, we're on Route 42. What about level 42? That's got to be good enough, right?
It's not quite it for me. Oh, I didn't super surf. Whoops.
Oh. All right. Well, we're gonna equip our repel here because we're gonna start surfing around with some water and stuff. It's a little more efficient stepwise to kind of cut through the water here than go through Mount Mortar, even though it's really simple to get through there. As we said in kind of the end of part 1 there, our repels are going to be really tight for this section, so we're going to do as much as we can to save those steps.
Right. Yeah, so on the glitchless route, we would cut through Mount Mortar because it is faster.
Oh no, you wasted 2. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, so now we're gonna go fishing. So what Tucker's gonna do is he's gonna get on the water here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise what's called our opposite direction counter. So every time Tucker looks in opposite direction, what happens is that counter goes up and it raises the encounter check,
yes.
Like chance. So right now we got about a 10% chance for an encounter on the water, and we're looking for, I'd say maybe the top 1% of Magikarp. Would you say would be good enough for this run?
Yeah, 1%.
Yeah. So we got about
Like-
a 1 in 1,000 here to get the Magikarp. The Magikarp is at least higher level than Kenya's, so we're not going to see any Magikarp we don't want to see. But we're hoping
because
to
the
get
repel is on. And the way that the repel
Yes.
works is that it repels any Pokemon that are lower level than your lead. Or Kenya is level
Yes.
29, so we won't be seeing anything below level 29.
Yeah, so feel free to guess in chat what level this Magikarp is. I don't think any of you will get it unless you're cheating and have seen this run before.
Yeah. By doing this repel trick, we're eliminating every possibility of a Magikarp except for one.
Yes.
And we just need
Um,
one.
And as I said before, our repels are really tight, so that's why we're kind of turn framing in place here. It's also because turn framing is slightly quicker. It's 6 frames to turn versus 8 frames to surf. So the plan here is to get that to show up as quickly as possible. Tucker is playing on a 3DS with the capture card installed, and that gives him access to the circle pad to spin the circle pad really, really fast. You can do this on DS, but your thumb turns raw after about 2 minutes of doing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of good guesses. I'm not seeing the magic number yet. Oh, I see one magic number.
What do they win for guessing the magic number?
Hopefully a male Magikarp, so that we get a female.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that all
Or
makes
maybe we'll
sense.
give him a level 25 or something. We'll give him the red Gyarados. How about that?
Oh,
We'll raffle it off.
oh,
There it
we'll
is.
see.
All right.
The reveal. Yes, there we go.
And it's a female.
It's a
That's what you love to
female.
see.
Let's freaking go.
So it's a 50-50 what gender Magikarp is in these waters. A female is significantly better for this run than a male. So it's really nice to see that. More on why when it comes into play. But for now, we're just going to throw this netball at it because it's a guaranteed catch.
Right. Yeah, so that carp hunt took about 2 minutes. On average, it's about like 70 seconds.
Something like that.
Yeah, so a little worse than average, but it can definitely drag on for like a very long time.
Yeah, we've seen carp hunts as bad as like 12, 13 minutes. Just ridiculous times. You're sitting there spinning. Your thumb is just completely raw. It's one of the biggest RNG sections because you're looking for that 1 in 1,000 Magikarp, and you can get really lucky or really unlucky because of those rare odds. So we're going to pick up that second rare candy there. We have 200 inventory now so that we can level up our Magikarp to level 52. And that'll let us take a look at our stats as well.
Yep.
Kind of get a sneak peek at some of the more important ones here. Attack and speed are the 2 really important ones. Defenses can make into play as well. We're just hoping for, more than anything, not minus attack nature.
Right. The only thing that you're really able to find out is like your speed right away because carps. Oh my goodness. Okay,
155, that's not bad.
that is really good.
Take that.
It is
Not good
definitely
enough for a
plus attack.
is it?
It is
Oh,
plus
okay.
attack. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we're underway.
We're also going to teach it strength because right now its moveset isn't amazing. We have Splash, Tackle, and Flail. So we're going to teach strength so that we can kind of round out its moveset a little bit better for this early section here. We will take advantage of Flail. Flail is a move that does more damage the less health you have. So that can let us set up some crazy high power attacks throughout the next section of the run here. If we can take advantage of it, that is. We're going to fight this guy.
I took another step too far. I didn't want to go into Mount Order.
Get a little ahead of ourselves. We're going to fight this guy here. Kind of another 2-piece reason why. One, because we're going to be doing a tweak here later, and he is staring in the line where we would be trying to do the tweak. Tweaking, for those who weren't here for the first section, kind of lets us manipulate the map in certain ways to our bidding and lets us skip things and break the games in some pretty fun, wild, and wacky ways. We're also looking for Poison Point here, which is the 2 Pokemon special abilities. That sucks. Poison Point has a 30% chance to proc, and if we get poisoned, we would take damage in the overworld, and that would let us take so much damage that we could set up a flail to have a really good base power for the next section here.
Yeah.
So to not get it, it's not unexpected, but it just means that we're going to lose a little bit of time here. There's no real way to back up getting poisoned other than using some X attacks and strengths and stuff like that. So,
right. And our repel, we made it specifically wear off in this room right here because we are looking for a Pokemon that can learn Rock Climb. Geodude is one. It's 85% to encounter either a Geodude or a Machop here. And in the previous room of Mount Mortar that we were just in, it's only a 25% to get a good encounter. So yeah, that's why if you notice, I took a few steps after the Rare Candy, and that's when I knew to Super Repel again. Yeah, weaken it one time with Flail at the weakest space power because I have max HP, and it's guaranteed with an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, so he'll take care of Rock Climb because we need Rock Climb to get up Mount Silver. Unfortunately, there's no way for us to do some like crazy wild tweaks to get up the mountain. Although that would be pretty entertaining to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that with the Etamons that we have, we cannot learn Rock Climb. In the Manipped route, you actually get a Raikou with a Master Ball that you manipulate. And Raikou learns Rock Climb, so you don't need a Rock Climber.
Right, because this is a RNG Manipless category. We are not using RNG manipulation. That means no Master Ball, which also means no Raikou. Raikou is way too difficult to catch in Manipless. We do get the fastball from Kurt, but even then it's like a 1.5% percent to catch it. So it's just not really worth it at all to bother with Raikou.
Yeah, and we are able to manipulate like Raikou with the stats, with the Master Ball from the lottery, and Pokerus. It's RNG manipulation does a lot for this game, and it's just unfortunate that we don't get to see it here. Nice, I got the fast cycles after picking up those money items right there, the PP up and the nuggets. How long you take on that route affects where those walking trainers are, but luckily I did it fast enough so that I didn't have to like wait for them to go. Glad that I still got that going for me. Oh, and then I bonk. Cool.
Yeah, so we're kind of making a significant detour here. We went east of Ecruteak first to get Magikarp, and now we went west. So we're going all the way out here because we want access to Fly. Fly lets us go to any major town that we visited before and is really, really helpful to get to certain areas much faster than biking. If we took out Fly for whatever reason, it just would be a lot slower. So we kind of have to go all the way out to Cianwood here because Chuck is the one that has Fly. So he is the second to last gym leader, if I'm not mistaken, that we're actually going to be beating in this run.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So the puzzle in this gym is to go up to the red switch, and that'll kind of raise up the waterfall thing that's crashing on Chuck. So it might look a little counterintuitive that we're going up this left side here because that means this guy's now blocking the way. But we can actually just leave the gym and reset his position, and that'll let us go up the left side with only fighting one trainer. Otherwise, the like intended is to like go up the left side, and then they like kind of like gotcha or whatever, and then you're supposed to go up the right side, and there's a couple more fights if you do it all like that. So we can kind of cheese it by going through the left side and then reloading the gym.
And now we just, instead of fighting all those trainers on the right side, we just leave the gym, and then that trainer that we fought will go back to his original position, and we have an easy way to get to the switch. Yeah, maybe not what the devs intended, but certainly the fastest way. Only have to fight one guy.
Alright, so now here's Chuck. Chuck only has a Primeape and a Poliwrath, which aren't too crazy. Because we didn't get a Flail, we kind of have to do some more shenanigans. It's really nice that we're plus attack at least, so that we don't have any scary ranges at all. Chuck's Ace, which is a Poliwrath, has both Hypnosis and Body Slam. Hypnosis have a 60% to put us to sleep, and Body Slam is a 30%, if I remember right, to paralyze.
Yeah.
So it's just really nice if we don't have that happen to us.
Right. I can actually go for a tackle here to not trigger its Citrus Berry, which would be what you normally do. Nice, Gnosis Dodge.
Yeah, another thing about significant trainers like gym leaders and rivals and stuff too is if you take their last Pokemon down to below half health, they come out to like talk about like, oh, I'm in a pretty wild situation here. I hope I don't lose. So that also kind of cuts that out too on certain fights. If we can chip with something like tackle and then finish with strength. I don't know how many situations there are that we're going to be able to take advantage of that, but it's just a nice little Gen 4 optimization thing because these battles definitely aren't the fastest ones out there compared to other generations.
Yep. And our reward for beating Chuck is exactly what we wanted. It's Fly. And now we get to fly to areas. But before we do that, we're going to this little house right here and picking up our friend here, Shucky. Shucky the Shucky.
Yeah. So, believe us when we say this. This is our key to beating Red is a level 20 Shuckle. We'll get a little more into it when the time comes. But yeah, just believe us for a while that Shucky is our key to beating Red.
Yeah, it is probably my favorite strat in this route. It's just so funny how it works.
Yeah. But now we can go ahead and teach Fly to Kenya, and we can fly around. We're going to be doing some housekeeping stuff here. We're going to fly to Violet to pick up a candy that we can now get because we have Surf, and we couldn't get to before because we didn't want to backtrack on the bike. And then we're also going to kind of get back into tweaking again. So for those who missed kind of the first portion of the run here, tweaking is a mechanic that lets us kind of load the map in really funky ways, and that lets us skip some mandatory triggers, some mandatory fights, normal obstacles that would require us to beat a gym badge to do. It's a lot of really fun stuff. So definitely don't take your eyes off the screen for too long, because otherwise you might miss some really fun shenanigans here. So for us to go to Blackthorn City, we normally have to get all 7 gym badges and do the radio tower sequence, which is where Team Rocket takes over the radio tower. And it's this really long, tedious section. But instead what we're going to do is we're going to do a tweak here. And we're also going to, I don't know if that was safe. That was kind of sketchy. But now as you can see here, the map is kind of screwed up. We're now surfing on this like black void looking thing. We're also going to reload the graphics here so that the map is kind of back to normal. But this guy is staring under the ground. And what that does is that lets us bike over his head, because otherwise he'd pop out of the ground and tell us all about his rage candy bars. So now we're over here with 2 less gym badges than what we needed. We didn't have to do Jasmine or Price. But the real reason we're kind of going over this way is not to fight Claire, because Claire doesn't actually give us access to any HMs for beating her. But the HM for Waterfall is in here.
Yeah, and we don't actually even need to use Waterfall, because we're skipping the part of the game that blocks you with like Waterfall, but we want Waterfall obviously because we main a Gyarados now. And
yes,
Waterfall is a 80 base power physical water type move. It's just very good for our purposes in this speedrun. It's by far our best move for Gyarados.
Actually, I lied. It's Jasmine that doesn't give you an HM outside of battle. It's Claire that gives us Waterfall, right?
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yeah. So we don't actually need Waterfall as a HM to use outside of battle, which seems kind of ridiculous because anyone who's played HeartGold and Soul Silver before knows that in order for us to go to Kanto, we have to go through a place known as Tojo Falls, which has like 2 waterfalls that you have to climb up and down in order to actually get to like Kanto proper and the Victory Road and all that stuff. But we don't need that because of our good friend Tweaking. Before we do that though, we're gonna pick up some more, pick up another rare candy and some more items to sell because we haven't done a lot of fights. Our money is really tight, so that's why we're kind of running around picking up all these high value items like PP ups and nuggets and stuff so that we can kind of do our hopefully second to last shopping here. We're going to take care of a lot of the X items that we need. So X items are consumables that we can use in battle to raise our stats like attack or speed. It's really helpful for Pokemon that don't have like agility, for example, to boost speed. I know I definitely didn't use them a lot during my casual playthroughs as a kid, so a lot of people might not really be familiar with what the X items do, but they're very powerful in a speedrun, and they really help us become more powerful than what we are given our level. So
yeah, we're going to sell all of our money items. We are going to keep attract. That is very important for us. We're a female Gyarados, keep that in mind. We're female.
Yes. So we got attract as a gift from Whitney for defeating her gym. So because we're a female, we're going to take a huge advantage of that, because a lot of the tricky fights have male Pokemon. So having a female allows us to attract them. And then when they are attracted, it's a 50-50 whether or not they attack or if they lose their turn due to being in love with our Gyarados, which we are right now because it is both female and plus attack nature. So it definitely lets us set up a lot quicker with half the risk. So we're just going to buy some more healing items here. So we're going to get some hypers now because we've only had supers up to this point. Some full heals in case something goes a little tricky. We also bought the max repels to get us through the rest of the run here. With no more encounters, that'll be all not hunky-dory. So now we're going to get into some more tweaking here. So we're going to go back to Newbark, and we're going to try to do 3 tweaks back-to-back in order to get a rare candy. We need to do at least 2 to skip Tojo Falls. And this one's really fun because it's going to kind of look like we're going to go through Newbark twice here. So Tucker's going to go ahead and use Repel because the second tweak is going to be in some grass. And we, even though that it is the grass on the route to our left and we're right of Newbark, it is still grass that is valid. It can give us an encounter. So we're going to want to make sure that we have this max repel still going. So this is probably one of the most difficult tweaks, only because you're restricted by the amount of steps you have. You have to get both tweaks within a max repel's worth. And because we're so tight on max repels, and there's a really good chance that if something goes wrong, we can actually soft lock here.
Yeah, I'm actually saving here just to make sure that we don't soft lock.
Yeah. Because if we wind up, if we wind up in a bad spot, we could wind up in a tree. And because we haven't been anywhere in Kanto yet, as soon as we go onto the water here, we're technically in Kanto, so we have no fly points. So if we get stuck, we're stuck.
Yeah.
So that's why the safety save there. So now you can see we're on the route left of Newbark, even though we just surfed to the right. We're going to do another one here, and I'm kind of getting deja vu here. I feel like we were already in like Newbark. That's too bad. Yeah, so that third tweak there would let us get a rare candy, which makes the kind of last section of the fight a lot better. But we have it routed in case we don't get it either. So it's just a shame. Even if we did do the third tweak, the reason why we wouldn't be able to get the rare candy if we don't do it the first time is because we kind of load in that area in a different way, and that lets us be on a different z-axis. So that wouldn't let us get the candy if we like second or third tried it. So there's no point. It's better to just get on the water and use the rest of your repel to kind of get through everything. So that skipped us needing Waterfall. So that's why we don't have to do Claire's Gym. So now we're kind of on the way to Victory Road with 5 badges. All
right. Yeah, that whole section, that past like 10-15 minutes was a lot. Shout out to my commentator TTS here, holding it down for me while I was playing the game, because it really goes really fast, because like you're doing so much like item collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good job on my commentator here.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, but now we're kind of back to like just doing fights now. Because now we're like past all the tweaks and stuff. Setting ourselves up well for a late game. Yeah, one thing to note about this Gyarados in particular, it's actually got a minimum defense. Like, it's a minus defense, and it's 0 to 1 IV. So that's going to be funny.
This means it literally is the worst defense you could ever see on a Gyarados, period.
Yeah.
So that is very, very interesting to have. It definitely means that any physical attacks that we get hit with are going to hit a lot harder. So hopefully, hopefully, nothing too crazy happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
So sadly, because we didn't get the poison from the poison point, we still don't have flail, which means we have to set up some X attacks here. Only cost us 1 turn, but they kind of add up if we have to keep X attacking for a lot of these fights, which we kind of have to now. We can kind of get away with it because our attack is so good on some fights too. Otherwise, we'd have to do it there too. So
yeah, this trainer is a little funny because Vaporeon and Golduck can be ranges. Okay, nice, we got it. This Vaporeon wouldn't have been a range if it came out after this Golduck, and it does kind of change around which one you get based on your defenses. So because I have like a very low defense, I guess, and like kind of like mediocre SpDef, this trainer chose to send out Vaporeon before Golduck, and Vaporeon is harder to kill. Oh, unlucky. But yeah, if Vaporeon came out later, then I would have a guaranteed kill on both Golduck and Vaporeon. But I got the Vaporeon range anyway.
yeah.
And the reason why that little EXP matters so much is because the damage calculation in Pokemon is a bit weird. One of the big checks is your actual level, and levels that end in 0, 3, 5, or 8 have a significant damage boost because of just the way that the damage calculator like rounds levels divided by 2. So yeah, you're looking out for levels that give you that damage boost ending in 0, 3, 5, or 8, which 53 is significantly stronger than 52, whereas like 52 is not that much stronger than 51.
Yeah, it's just because of how a lot of computers do math, especially math with integers or whole numbers, is with division, if you end up with like a decimal or something, it usually ends up being rounded down. So that can hurt you, for example, with like a minus nature. So if you are like a level like 6 Cyndaquil, for example, and you have a really low minus special attack, you know, that 10% kicks in, and say you have like 10, so minus 10%, you'd have like 9.9 or something like that. And that would just get floored to 9, so that hurts you. Compared to if you were plus, you'd get like, would it be 10.1, and that gets rounded down to 10. So that kind of rounding can kind of screw you up sometimes, especially with damage calculations and stat calculations, all that kind of stuff.
And in Pokemon math, you always round down, never round up, even if it like makes sense to do in like traditional math. Oh, is that the HP up? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're picking up even more money items here. We're still not done with loading up on items that we need. And we're getting 2 more items here, 2 really good ones. We're gonna go down this hole, and we're gonna get a really, really, really good move for Gyarados. Earthquake.
Yes. So Earthquake is 100 base power, 100 accurate ground type. That's just a really, really good move for Gyarados. Even though we don't get stab or same time attack bonus because Gyarados is water flying, it's still just a really insane move to have for a lot of the fights coming up.
Oh,
So
I really
we're gonna get rid of
delete
Splash.
this. Yeah, that's fine.
Because,
Whoops.
or no, not Flash, Tackle.
Tackle, yeah.
Yeah, Tackle.
That one. Good. Yeah, just checking that I had enough repels, so I don't have to shop for more. So yeah. Now that we have Earthquake, we are well equipped to deal with Rivals Magneton. I mean, with our attack, we could have dealt with it even with Waterfall. I am actually going to Waterfall right now, but I actually like realized too late. But it doesn't matter that much. It's just an extra menu. But yeah. Rival is not too hard. Our Gyarados makes it even easier. with how much attack it has. It's 12 to 13 IV with plus attack nature, for reference.
Yeah, and that's really the only attacking stat that matters for us because we're all physical at this point. We don't teach a move like Surf or anything, which is special attack on any percent. If this was the glitchless version, we would teach Surf to Gyarados because it's a really good coverage move for any bulky high defense mons, but because we don't have to fight as many fights, we choose Earthquake instead for this category.
Yep. So with the lower attack, I'd actually X attack here so that I can 2-hit for Alligator, but with this Gyarados, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to go straight in and go for the range on for Alligator.
Yeah.
Which is 99.61%. I will be remiss if I miss this. That is a famous, or infamous, 255 out of 256.
Yeah. It's just the nice thing about having a Gyarados this good too is that you can save turns from not having to set up as much. Any Gyarados can still finish the run, but some just struggle significantly more than others.
Oh yeah.
So there's Rival done, so now the only thing that's standing between us and Kanto is the Elite Four.
Elite Four and a Sailor.
Yeah, he's in foreign waters. We don't really know where he is.
Oh my, I've never gone there before. I just lost control of my D-pad and I couldn't go up.
Taking the scenic route.
Very funny.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a PC heal here. I also believe that we're going to get rid of Cool Lava at this point, because we don't need him. Yeah. So we're still holding on to Kenya, because we're going to need to fly once we're done with the Elite Four. We still need Match Hop for Rock Climb, because we don't really plan on stopping at a center again from here. So all the Pokemon that we need to finish the run should be with us in the party, and it just happens to be that Cool Lava is not necessary to finish the run, so it just kind of helps speed up the Hall of Fame cutscene at the end where you see all your Pokemon and the accomplishments that they totally helped with, and it wasn't all just Gyarados. But so here's our last shopping, just some extra Max Repels if we need any, and a couple roller stores in case things get really crazy in the last couple fights. So here is our first Elite Four member. But we're going to shovel some candies into Gyarados first because 54 would be a pretty interesting level to try to take on the Elite Four with.
Yep.
But a lot of the plan here is just to set up X attacks and then destroy everything with either Strength or EQ. Wheel in particular is not a very scary fight. Xatu is either going to confuse us or hit us with Psychic. It usually doesn't really do enough for us to really worry about much. If we get a Flail, it's really nice because it might help us save setup, or if we end up with Flail's base power being like 80, which is the same as Strength, we can save some text printing on the screen by using Flail instead of Strength. That's another optimization in this game that we really haven't covered yet, was naming stuff like one character or using moves with shorter text just to try to help save those crucial frames because of the text speed in this game. We're going to be setting up here. We're going to hope that we don't get confused because otherwise, well, I should have kept my trap shut. Anyway, we'll just use
it's pretty common.
Right. We'll just use the full heal to get rid of the confusion. We're going to not want to use a full restore yet because we want to save them for later. Also, if we get a Flail later, we'll definitely take advantage of it. So now we're all set up, so we can just start wiping Will's team with Strength. So that's not too bad. The next fight coming up, though, is Koga, who's a Poison type. Did you ever equip a Pecha Berry?
Yeah, I still have it on.
Okay.
Because it didn't get used on Victory Bell. So.
Okay. Yeah, I never saw you equip it, so I wanted to remind you in case we're coming up on... since we're coming up on Koga. Koga is a Poison type. He's got a lot of really nasty poison moves he can use on us, so we want to make sure that we have the Pecha equipped. Just so we don't have to spend time healing that poison if we get it. But we do we need to set up on this Ariados? Is that the situation here?
I believe with this Gyarados, we do not have to. We
All right.
can just avoid it, yeah. It's only really relevant if you need to go +3.
All right.
Or,
Oh,
no, or if you...
big
No. It's actually like the Ariados itself is a range, so...
Okay.
Yeah, if you're not able to kill it, then you do that, but we
Sure.
are able to. It's really nice carp that we got, actually. Even though it has...
I'm really happy with this carp.
Yeah, even though it has a literally minimum defense. It is actually 0 IV, figured out while leveling up there.
That's funny. It's really funny. It's really sad, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
Alright, so. Here's Koga. He also has a Crobat, which really likes to spam double team. Are we faster than Crobat in this case?
No, we're not.
Okay. So we're definitely going to want to pray that we hit through double team. We don't really want to play risky with our PP too much because we want to actually get to the E4 since there's no free heals anywhere.
Yeah, I did grab a safety elixir though, so
okay.
If we are in a situation like that, we have that going for us.
Alright, sure. This fortress is a really, really, really rare chance to use explosion.
Yeah.
It's really funny when it does. Not if you're at low health, but when you get to see it, because it's so rare. It's like a 1 in 256, right?
I think it's even rarer or something. I don't know where that number came from. It's like 300-ish.
Yeah, I always hear that number floating around. I don't know if it's actually
I don't know
true.
why. But yeah. The fortress has protects, so like if anything is
that's the bigger troll
make you
with protect.
Little woozy, it's protect there. Yeah. But we didn't get it. And this Crobat is just faster than us, has double team. If it were to just attack us, that'd be nice. Unlucky. 75% to hit. We got it. Cool.
Beautiful.
There's gonna be a couple more of those later on the counter fight.
Yeah. Double team is just speedrunner's worst nightmare because if you're sitting there trying to hit through it, they just keep setting it up and you just keep missing and it's just tears the whole way.
Yeah.
I've had some really interesting. I think it was Koga actually when I was doing some glitchless Manipless not too long ago where I just had like a 20 turn Crobat or something just because I could not hit it.
God.
It was really bad.
Alright, up next is Bruno. Bruno is not too hard either.
We are going to be setting up at least one X attack to guarantee our the Machamp dies in one waterfall, and thankfully our attack is so good that it's not even a range. The Sip on top does have a quick attack, which can be kind of annoying, but it could also set us up a flail. You never know. Let's see what happens here. Alright, one quick attack. That's fine.
Alright, cool. Yeah, quick attack is just a priority move. It's just time loss if you get it.
Yeah.
That's nothing scary. Yeah, you're gonna see Earthquake a couple times. Earthquake is... it helps in the way that, like, it's just a stronger move than Strength. You know, 100 versus 80.
Also has a chance to be more super effective because normal isn't super effective on anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps with the type coverage as well. So yeah, this would be a range with lower attack, but you don't have to worry about it. And even if you do miss the range, Machamp wouldn't deal too much with Rock Slide. And it also has a Citrus Berry, so if you miss the range, then Citrus Berry would take it out of the boss fight's pre-programmed heal range, which is conveniently 25%, and Citrus Berry heals 25%, so never a situation where if you trigger Citrus Berry, it's gonna heal. Can you do Strong Karen? You can do Strong Karen. Let's go. Alright.
Alright.
We're not setting up on Umbreon. That's gonna be awesome.
Which is really good because Umbreon also has double team.
Yeah, this Umbreon right here. We are going to waterfall it. And we can flinch it with waterfall. It has a 20% chance to flinch.
Yes.
We did not.
Unlucky.
All good. Disappeared.
Yeah. The 75% are on our side today, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do this strat because we have enough attack to only set up one time on Vileplume. Or no, for Vileplume on Houndoom, because
yes,
we're not dead to Houndoom.
Houndoom is a lot better to set up on because it usually likes to go for Nasty Plot turn 1.
Yes.
And then having to set up multiple on Houndoom is not the greatest. So if you're in a rougher situation, you would do 2 on Umbreon and 1 on Houndoom.
Okay, I actually made a slight mistake here. Actually, I wouldn't call it a mistake. It's just something that I realized. Yeah, what I was like supposed to consider is that I'm probably speed type with Gengar here. Let me check my speed. If it's 118, 117. Okay, I'm just slower, but I will take a Gengar hit, so it's all good. I can Gengar, like flail. Or
Gengar can't kill us here.
Oh no, sorry. 117 is speed side. I need 118 to outspeed it. Okay, I got the speed side win. Gengar is not too much of a threat. Yeah, but if I were to X-speed on Houndoom there, then I would die because it nasty plotted. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't think oh, just X-speed now. Like no. Okay, my HP is honestly, I'm just gonna take a heal here because I don't want to perish.
So this is the worst fight that you could die on, because obviously if you wipe, you have to do all the Elite Four again. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to set up a Flail on Lance. So if we can get really, really, really low HP, we can get Flail's base power to be like 150 or 200, which makes it a very strong move compared to Earthquake's 100 or Strength's 80. So the plan here is to tank some Dragon Pulses or Ice Fangs, whatever Gyarados is going to go for here, while we try to set up so that we get down to that Flail. We would really like Dragon Pulse. That's not great.
Yeah, we're not getting Dragon Pulse with this defense.
Yeah, I suppose. We're rock bottom
Ice Fang.
The scary thing about Ice Fang is that it does have a chance to freeze us. It's also not accurate, so we can't always rely on it getting us to the health that we want. But if it misses, it's just an extra turn to set up for like safety or something. So we did set up 1x speeds that were faster than everything on Lance's team, because otherwise that would be very, very bad. And then we're just kind of setting up X attacks until we were at a good Flail.
All right, there we go. This is +3 attack, Flail 100. And we have the requisite attack to just sweep now. So that is a good Lance fight. Luckily, we did not get frozen. Even if we did, I have full heals for that, so I could keep my HP while setting up. But yeah, that's definitely an ideal Lance fight.
It's a good crit. It totally meant something, right?
No.
So yeah, now we can just play all these Dragonite and they're not a problem at all. Yeah, the level 50 is the one we're really setting up for, so we can look. The stressful health bar to watch is level 51 to make sure that you set up everything right. You don't want to see that one stop at like 1% HP.
Yeah. But level 50 is the bulkiest. Yeah. Very smooth E4.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be really happy with that. So, all right, fingers crossed. Everything went well in the setup. And GG.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna Flail Charizard too, right? Just for extra tech save.
Yeah, it's faster than Waterfall. It's super effective versus neutral. All right, all good.
That is all of Johto in less than 2 minutes or 2 hours. Sorry,
2 minutes.
That's insane.
Yeah. All right, that is not the end of the game. We still have a whole region to go, but not really.
Yes.
We have about 3 fights left.
We have a tour through the Kanto region. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah.
So we only need 6 gym badges to beat the game, and we have 5 right now. There's only 1 more that we need in order to beat the game. So to beat the game, we have to actually beat Red, not Lance. So we need to go to Mount Silver in order to beat Red, obviously. So to get to Mount Silver, we need rock climb in order to actually scale the mountain. But before that, there's a guard that keeps us in the way until we beat Blue. So Blue is the only gym leader that we have to fight last.
Yeah, as long as you beat Blue, you're able to fight. You're able to trigger all the stuff that's required to unlock Red as the boss fight at the end. So anything that can make us get to Blue and beat him, we can finish the game after that. And we do have 3 tweaks that allow us to beat Blue. However, I do think that after this Hall of Fame, we are going to another intermission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing, just, I guess, after you soft reset is when you'll count it down?
Yeah, after the soft reset, we'll head to a break. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, all of our buddies here, it takes forever for each of the pokes to go through Hall of Fame, but we aren't doing another PC in this run,
Let's
so
go
it's
Shuckle.
worth it. Yeah, Shucky the Shuckle. Thank you, Kirk, for Shucky. Did absolutely nothing on our way, but we'll do something very spectacular.
He is our MVP for Red. Definitely stick around for that.
Yes, don't miss out on Shucky. We'll be right back. And we'll pause right after this has finished saving. Normally we don't see the credits at all. Alright, paused. But I'll let it play out during the intermission. Why not?
Okay, does that pause?
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple announcements before we get to that quick break. One is if you are enjoying this run at all, you should definitely follow Tuckerlat and TTS4Life on their Twitch accounts, respectively. That is twitch.tv/Tuckerlat and twitch.tv/TTS4Life. Is that your entire handle, TTS? Yep. Cool. It's easy to follow Tucker because his name's on the title. If you just hover below it, you can click the follow button. Same with TTS, just go to twitch.tv/TTS4Life. And then if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, and you can follow them. That should be in the description below as well. And also go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick to watch our shows live. Again, when we come back, big scary trainer Red, a very exciting fight, really cool strats and stuff remaining in the run. So don't go anywhere. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the GDQ Hotfix. We are at the final stretch of this Pokemon HeartGold Any %, no RNG manipulation, but glitches okay speedrun. We are about to approach the final fights of the game that includes Pokemon trainers Blue and Red. Super excited to see the wacky strats that we're about to witness here. And before we get into it, just want to make one more announcement that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games on Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns daily, consider subscribing to the channel. Tucker, why don't you go ahead and count us back into the run?
All right. It says the end here, but we're not done yet. So we'll get back in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Just doing what we traditionally do. Soft reset after the Hall of Fame save. Just let the credits play out for fun. During that intermission. And it's Shucking time. I'm so excited that I'm going to put Shucky in front.
Yeah.
But I want its fairy juice. That's for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to be able to head to Kanto. So we need to go to Kanto in order to get to Red. So for those who might have missed it during the second half, the objective of this run is to defeat Red. And for us to defeat Red, we need to get to Kanto. So we kind of have to go back to doing some intended stuff here. We've been doing a lot of wacky glitches up to this point to skip significant chunks of the game. And that's not quite done yet. So you're definitely going to want to keep your eyes peeled on the screen. There's a little more shenanigans we're going to be doing in Kanto here that lets us get straight to Blue without having to do any of the other gym leaders in the way. This run is done with only 6 gym badges. Little known fact. But before we go to Kanto, we're going to train up our Shucky a little bit because he needs a warm-up for Red.
Training, I'd say.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to, work on its bulk a little bit by letting it take some hits from a level 3 Pidgey. I don't think Shucky's quite warmed up yet.
Nah.
No, not quite yet.
Nah, we gotta go Safeguard again.
Yeah.
That one wore off, so we're putting it back up. All right, all good.
All right. Yeah,
Chucky,
I think
you
he's
have
warmed
enough.
up now.
Yeah, it's not. That was enough. Man. That was enough.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit of practice for Red, you know.
Oh,
he's
we got the
built so
Pidgey
bulky.
dodge. Ooh. Well done, Chucky. All right, back to the back of the party.
Your time will come. Just wait. No, you got to rest for the big fight.
Yeah, 35 HP in specific.
Yes.
No reason why. You know, actually, no reason. No reason.
Don't worry about it. So now, first to get to Kanto, we have to go to Olivine to ride the SS Anne. Professor Oak's gonna chit chat about going to Kanto. I think he gives us national mode too in the Pokédex, doesn't he?
Yep, we get the Nat-Dex.
Doesn't really help us, but you know, now we can see more Pokemon in the decks.
Yeah. In this run, we will see no Pokemon that were only available in national decks.
Which is a shame, actually. No, yeah, you're right. No, I never thought about that before. Yeah. So, alrighty, onto the boat we go. There's a couple of mandatory things we need to do in order for the boat to actually get the Vermilion. We can't just AFK here and it'll eventually get there. It would be nice. It'd be a really good excuse for a bathroom break or something. Or not really a lot of room for bathroom breaks in this run, although it is a lot shorter compared to the glitchless equivalent, which would be a lot longer. So.
Yeah.
First thing we got to do is we got to chit chat with this sailor. He's looking for his cover for the next leg of his shift or whatever. So we're gonna go find him.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. He's in this room, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
What's he doing? Maybe he's sleeping. Oh wow.
Oh, slacking on the job.
Oh wow.
I can't believe it. Now he's defensive about it. I mean, we caught him in the act. I don't know. So much gaslighting going on right now.
I know. It's really toxic, but we're gonna have to teach him a lesson.
I think so. I think he's trying to teach us a lesson.
Oh no, he is very mistaken. We're the one teaching him a lesson.
Yeah, so this is the third to last fight.
This one's for capitalism. This one, don't slack off on your job. You don't get paid just to sleep, buddy.
No. In fact, I think we need to teach him a lesson by siphoning his paycheck a little bit.
Oh yeah, maybe we should tattle. Maybe that guard will let us through.
No, he'll just pay us 1,088 and we'll keep our lips shut. How about that?
1088, you know what? That's enough shush money for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you could buy a super with that or something, you know.
How he gets the point across to his coworker, that's not my problem.
Yeah, right. So, all right, so now we can get to the captain's ship, which is buried in the middle of the ship. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Unless it's the captain's quarters. I guess there's no steering wheel here. This is the captain, and he's always here. So I don't know who's actually piloting the ship. But that little girl is another required story beat to get off this ship. She wants to play hide and seek with the captain, but the captain just will not. So
he's
we have to play
doing non-steering captain things, obviously.
Right. So we're gonna talk to her from the top here. She always goes to hide here, but the reason we talk to her from the top is so that when we get pushed back, we only get pushed back one tile to be like, haha, you found me. Otherwise, if you talk to her from the right, she pushes you 2 tiles right. So it's just a really small optimization there. So
yeah.
Now that that's all done, we're in Vermilion City. So we're not going to be going to fight Surge. Surge would be a death sentence. He's a electric type and we're water flying. We also don't need to beat him for the run. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly back to Vermilion because that lets us skip kind of the whole process of leaving the docks and all that stuff. Also because the center's on the north side of town. I'm going to yellow these 3 tiles of grass and hopefully we don't get an encounter. Nice.
Yeah, Intimidate is a good overworld ability. It behaves like Keen Eye. And it's funny that we use both Keen Eye and Intimidate for the overworld.
Yeah, so having an Intimidate lead lowers the encounter chance. Also, grass tiles have a lower encounter chance in Kanto in general compared to Johto, so that's also really nice. So here's another tweak. what these tweaks do is they let us kind of deload the map and do some really funky things with it. So what this one does is it deloads the right section of the map here. It looks kind of strange that we're going to cut this tree into nothing, but it's to skip some trainers that would otherwise catch us from above. You see that gentleman there. He's the one that we're trying to skip by doing that tweak. So now we don't have to fight him anymore because he doesn't have really good eyesight in the dark. I mean, who does? Like, I can't see very well in the dark.
Yeah, the dark is just too much. Darkness is deep.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're gonna yellow some water tiles there because we don't really have the repels to try to like lower the encounter chance there. So now, since we are female, we're gonna teach a track that we got from Whitney a way long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. What that's going to do is that's going to allow us to make the next two fights a lot safer. If we were a male, we wouldn't be teaching a track here, and the fights are still winnable, but they're just a lot more sketchy and require more setup. So now we're going to do another tweak here, and what this is going to do is it's going to deload the Snorlax that's usually blocking Beelit's Cave. Usually you'd have to do a whole thing with like the power plant to the east of Cerulean and this whole like chase the rocket grunt and then get the machine part in Misty's gym. Then we can go to Lavender to get like the radio card, and that lets us play the Poke Flute on the Poke Gear to, you know, do to awaken Snorlax and then catch it, flee it, whatever we want to do with it. So that skips up like 20 minutes alone with that tweak.
Yeah, or about to skip something like even that. More. One last tweak here in this game.
We're going to skip the rest of Kanto. So for Glitchless Manipless, it's about an hour to get through Kanto. We're going to get through Kanto in like, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, and see that repel was tight.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to reload the map here because we're going to do another tweak, but this one tends to crash the game if you don't like reload for some reason. So we just kind of fell through the world. Don't ask questions.
We actually soared high in the sky, even though that's not what it looks like.
Yeah, the camera's all screwed up. Yeah, we're way up in the sky or way down below, just depending on how you look at it. We're going to do a save and reset here because what that'll do is that'll let us reset our Z-axis so that we're like in the old band, and then we can just go straight into the gym.
Yep.
So that is like the entirety of Kanto skipped, and we've been back from our break for maybe 10 minutes at most, and most of that was on a ship.
Yeah, that tweak, if you head into the gym without saving and resetting, then it would not work. You have to save and reset because you would crash otherwise. But yeah, here we are. We're already at blue. We did teach a track, so we will be utilizing that because blue's team is all male, and we have a female Gyarados.
So Executor's lead. Blue's lead is an Executor. An Executor has a move called Trick Room, which makes slow Pokemon go first and fast Pokemon go last. We do not want to be in a Trick Room really for any reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of stall the Trick Room if we get one. Hopefully we just get all the infatuations and we just set up, you know, that'd be awesome. But so here the Trick Room's going up, so we're going to spend some time setting up X attacks and some Expedefs so we can tank Leaf Storm and anything else that Blue might try to throw at us.
Yeah, we don't have the greatest Gyarados in terms of special bulk.
Yeah.
So a lot of Leaf Storm sitting could kill us. Luckily, Leaf Storm gets weaker and weaker every time you use it.
Yeah, every time it drops Executor's special attack by 2 stages, so you can essentially see it as being halved. Hypnosis is pretty common to see too. It's not a bad thing at all though. So here the Twisted Dimensions are back to normal, but we're not quite set up yet. We need, what, one more X attack?
2 more. Unlucky.
Two more.
These infatuations have done not much so far.
Yeah, so now we're caught in a second Trick Room. So now we can just go to a +6 X attack, which we don't really need to do. We could always just go at +5, but we need to kind of kill time in this Trick Room anyway, so we may as well just do some extra setup and then... oh, we are at +6. Look at that.
Yeah.
So we'll do an X speed for the heck of it, and then for the last turn of Trick Room is when we'll use a full restore so that we're full health. And then the Trick Room will wear off and we'll become faster again, so we'll be full health for the rest of Blue, which is really nice.
That should have been the last turn. There. Yep.
Yep, perfect.
It's important to count correctly, and stay asleep on the turn that you heal, and you want to heal on the last turn of Trick Room after you're fully set up, so that Executor doesn't have a chance to Trick Room again while you're healing.
Yeah, if you take out Executor in a Trick Room and you try to do the rest of blue, you're going to have
a this Trident will just kill you with a Stone Edge, or the Machamp can Thunder Punch. They're all slower than you, so Trick Room will make them faster.
Yes.
Yeah, we set up a lot of extra stuff while waiting for the second Trick Room. It's not normal, or it is actually pretty normal to get 2 Trick Rooms, but you're kind of playing for that 1 Trick Room fight. And you can like deal with that by just like 2-hitting the Gyarados that's coming up. But since we just have those extra turns to just throw away, we use that to help deal with lose Gyarados in 1 turn instead. Like it's just worth it to do. No reason not to.
So with that, blue is the only thing we need to beat in Kanto in order for us to get to Mount Silver and Red. So that was an excellent performance of Kanto. You fought so hard. You fought so many trainers. That was an absolute bloodbath to get here.
Gained 1 whole level of EXP.
I mean, that level scaling, right? I mean, it's so bad in this game.
It's just funny because in like any percent glitchless and any percent, you just get like a level 40 Raikou before the 4th gym. So like the level scaling really isn't a problem until you get to Red, and Red will have level 80s. Like, I mean,
right.
I don't think that's the problem with level scaling, because Red is like supposed to be a hard fight to beat. For like, he has like Pokemon like 30 levels higher than Blue. It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a challenge.
So Red leads a Pikachu who is level 88 and is holding a Light Ball, which boosts Pikachu's base attack and special attack to just be this absurd amount. It also has Thunderbolt and Volt Tackle, which is going to absolutely destroy Gyarados. No matter what we do on Blue, Gyarados just does not survive turn 1 if we throw it out in the battle. And with that in mind, that's where all that training on Chucky comes in. So the plan for Red, So the plan with Red, and stick with me here, is to send out a level 20 Shuckle turn 1. Now, hear me out. The reason for that is because Shuckle has just really insane defense stats. It is a base 230 defense, which is just crazy compared to any other like normal Pokemon. I don't know what Gyarados' base defense is, but it is just a...
Gyarados is like... Actually, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either off the top of my head, but Shucky just has insane bulk. And even though that it's level 20, it's a rock type, which means that it has no effect to electric moves. So Pikachu can't use either Volt Tackle or Thunderbolt. But its other 2 moves are Iron Tail and Quick Attack. And Iron Tail would absolutely destroy Shuckle here. But because of how the AI works in this game, if it can see a kill with a priority move, it will prioritize that over anything else. Even though Iron Tail would absolutely destroy Shucky given its level 20, it's going to go for Quick Attack. Because we brought Shucky down to exactly 35 HP, the deal with that is it is a 1 in 16 for Pikachu's Quick Attack to kill Shucky. So that means we have a 15 and 16 chance that Shucky survives and we get another turn. So with that in mind, what Shucky is going to do is it's going to use a move called Encore. And what Encore does is it's going to lock the opponent into using a certain move. So in this case, Pikachu is going to be locked into using Quick Attack. So the plan is to let Shucky die to a second Quick Attack, and we're going to swap Gyarados back in once Shucky dies, and we're going to begin to set up. Now, the amount of turns that we get with Encore is variable. We do see when it wears out. So it's just a matter of how many turns we get. If we get like a 3-turn Encore, it's very unfortunate because we don't get to do more setup on Pikachu, but we can still get around that. But the plan is to X-speed a couple times to become faster than Pikachu while it's locked to using Quick Attack on Gyarados. And then we can take it out with an Earthquake.
That is, that's a lot to take in, but it'll make sense when we get there.
Yes.
Because this fight can honestly go a lot of different ways, but the main crux of it is Shucky has Encore. Shucky lives Pikachu somehow, some way, because the AI behaves like that.
By a miracle.
And then Gyarados can actually set up after Pikachu is defeated and win.
Yeah. So Quick Attack is just so nice to get because Chucky being a rock type, like that's really the only reason why this works is because electric doesn't affect rock types. If that wasn't the case, and if it wasn't the case that the AI prioritized Quick Attack because it sees a chance to kill with Quick Attack, instead of the fact that it would just guarantee smoke us with Iron Tail, that's really the crux of this strategy. So we're just kind of working our way up Mount Silver here. Nothing too crazy, just using repels, using Rock Climb with the Geodude that we caught a long time ago.
Yeah, if you remember earlier, I went for a tweak that would grab a rare candy, but it's like pretty hard to do, and I failed it first try, which means that I couldn't go back for it just because of how it works. So I grabbed the Mount Silver candy to get to level 63 here. And 63, of course, is a damage boost level, so that's what we like to see. Yep, Shucky out front here. And we're gonna do a save.
Yes, we're gonna do a safety save here because if we die and wipe, we're gonna go back to Mom's house. We have to fly all the way back here, and that's a whole process.
If you get 1 in 16 from Quick Attack or get crit, then this strat just fails on the spot. There's no way to beat red. So yeah, turn 1, we Encore.
Yep, so we're gonna use the Encore here. Pikachu's gonna see the Quick Attack as a chance to kill. We're gonna tank it though because Chucky's just insane base defense. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna waste this turn to heal Gyarados while we wait for Pikachu to take care of everything.
Yeah, that turn is pretty much wasted because Chucky's alive and can't even switch to Gyarados like that. So we do need 2x speed, so we're going to prioritize these. But luckily we don't have a range on Pikachu. It will die to a +0 Earthquake. Yeah, Quick Attack does so much with our defense. Luckily with Encore, it tells you when Encore runs out. It doesn't like leave you to figure it out yourself, which would be quite a problem in this fight.
Yes.
If you just weren't told. Encore lasts 3 to 7 turns, so far we are on turn number 5, which is already pretty good. So yeah, Spadef here. Alright, now we're gonna Earthquake. This fight is very flowcharty because depending on your stats and however much you boosted on each of your defenses, Red will choose whether to send out Snorlax, Venusaur, or Lapras here. I specifically did an Expedef to get Lapras. Actually, that was supposed to be a defense because I'm just getting bonus in here. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine, probably. That's a crit. No, it's not a
heal. And heal here, and then it'll bring me to half, and then I'll do an X defense. Unless it doesn't do that much, but I think it does. After that's done, I will try to put on an Attract on Lapras. I'm not going to risk that. I bet there's chance that I can kill. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not going to heal the paralysis yet because we're going to be healing later.
Yeah, may as well save the chance of getting Paratex the second time.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that was a mistake because I want to attract. I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, you do have female.
I forgot about that. It's been a while since I've played this category.
Yeah, there's a lot of really nuanced details with this fight that you have to keep track of.
Oh yeah, it's so body slamming. Oh my.
Oh.
I'm actually gonna X defend here to make it stop body slamming. It's
a good
the
idea.
least I can do. And by the way, any of these turns, if it crits, I die.
Yeah, we're really just banking on the fact that red never crits in this fight. If we get a really poorly timed crit, or back to the start.
That's a crit.
Yeah.
Yep, unlucky.
Alright. So from the
We
top,
are gonna set up again because we have the resources.
yes.
It is gonna be slow, but yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering why this estimate is so high when we're on the final fight, it's because this can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unluckily, I fooled around too much, didn't get an attract in, and that's what will happen. It just will look a lot worse if you're male. Like, it's just how it is.
Yeah, there's no way beating
are
around the
better.
bush. We just haven't gotten to take advantage of the fact that we're female yet, because we haven't.
Alright,
gotten
I'm gonna throw an attract on now.
There we go.
And now we're gonna start really going in here.
All right, now for real.
Yes, give me those blizzard dodges.
So a quirk about Red's AI too is that once it runs out of blizzards,
wow.
since now it wants to pick blizzard, once it runs out of blizzards, what it's going to do is it's going to start picking moves randomly from the rest of its arsenal, which I believe for Lapras is was it Psychic, Body Slam, and Brine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once it runs out of blizzards here, it's going to start picking moves randomly, which can help or hurt us. Psychic can drop our special defense by 1, which isn't bad, but it's not great either. There's also a couple of other pokes that we could have been setting on. Tucker specifically manipped for Lapras by using the Expedef on Pikachu. We could also get Lapras or we already see Lapras. We could also get Snorlax or Venusaur. Snorlax is pretty bad to set up on because it likes to go for Crunch, and Crunch has a chance to drop our defense. It's 20%. And Venusaur is generally favorable, but it also has Sludge Bomb, so it's kind of annoying if you get poisoned by it. But we do have Pecha Berry equipped usually for this fight so that we can at least take one and not really have to worry about it.
Yep, we went to +4 attack. I actually only did 1x speed. The only reason why on this Gyarados I needed +2 is for Pikachu, and since Pikachu is dead, the next fastest thing is Charizard. And I think I outspeed Charizard with just +1 because I have 120 speed. And I think Charizard has 179, but that is something that I only remembered from trainer data. So if I am wrong about this, this Charizard will outspeed me here. Okay, I was right.
Alrighty. That was clean.
Yeah.
It's not over yet, though. It's never over until we're through Venusaur.
Never over. The next best thing here, I want to heal. The next best thing to heal on here is Blastoise. Hopefully we get that. No, we did not.
That's too bad.
Yeah, gotta heal. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do Hyper Potion.
Okay.
So yeah.
Venusaur also does have Sleep Powder, which is kind of inconvenient if you get hit by it too.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And we have
this time.
And we have good enough attack to go for a Waterfall Flinch here. So.
Ooh. Saucy.
Can get that. We got Sleep Powder miss.
We get the double miss. Oh, we got really good on dodging Hypnosis and Sleep Powder. I don't think we ever got to see it. And we got hit with a lot.
if you count all of them, yeah, that's just kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yep, Blastoise is the last threat here. So Red has 1 turn left to change the entire fight. Otherwise, it's a W. Blizzard hits.
Surely not a crit.
Oh, no, there's the crit. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Never tell me the odds.
Oh my gosh.
Holy.
Never tell us the odds.
GG. Flash Cannon cannot kill me from full even with a crit. That is it. We lived on 1. That was a crazy end.
That was the best way to end that.
Oh man, GDQ moment.
Great. Yeah. That's never happened before, right?
End time.
Holy smokes.
What a finish.
Jeez Louise.
So yeah, that's
my
how you
God.
beat Heart Gold in a little over 2 hours with the help of a level 20 Shucky who can get hit by electric attacks. I've been informed that Rock can get hit by electric attacks. It's too late for me to correct that for the YouTube comments, but I will correct that now.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that was. I'm still in shock from that ending. Yeah, great run. Any shout outs for both of you? Any shout outs you want to do?
Shout outs to, just anybody who's supported me through the years in PSR, especially the SPSR. Really appreciate it. Shout outs to Etchy and TTS. Etchy for hosting, TTS for holding it down on commentary. Definitely needed that. I actually was teaching TTS the category just yesterday because he doesn't actually run this category, but he's knowledgeable about HeartGold Soul Silver, and I needed to find somebody within with availability for this run, and surprisingly there's not many US runners of any percent Manipless. A lot of the runners are European, so yeah, shout out to TTS for taking time out of his day to do this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Shout out to you for having me. It's been a treat. Lots of fun. That was an amazing ending to the run. Shout out to all of the DS, PSR, speedrunning community in general. They're all a blast to hang out with and do races with. We're actually currently in the middle of our own little tournament on the glitchless category of this. So if you're interested, you can always check out twitch.tv/Pokemon Speedruns TV. They're currently broadcasting all of the matches for that. We're getting down to the final rounds of that tournament. If you guys are interested in doing this category, because as we've alluded to many a times, this is a very easy pick up and play category. Any stats on any Cyndaquil or Gyarados will get you through this run. There's plenty of resources on speedrun.com under the category extensions for this category and the glitchless version, which is a little bit longer. It's just under 4 hours, but there's lots of great guides written by Tucker to kind of help you get into that, as well as just a really fun and welcoming community to help you out too. You're welcome to join the DS PSR Discord to ask any questions you have. There's also plenty of races that get organized in there, especially this time because of the tournament and stuff. Also, shout out to Etchy for having us. It's been a blast.
Thank you both for being here again. Definitely recommend following both Tucker the Rat and TTS for Life on their Twitch channels. That's just twitch.tv/Tucker the Rat, twitch.tv/TTS for Life. Both Pokemon speedrunners who do a lot of Pokemon speedruns. Definitely check them out. Drop them that follow. And that's going to be it for today. Again, more hotfix stuff every day. Yeah, I believe we start at 7 p.m. again tomorrow. Let me double check what's on the slate because I had that pulled up and I lost it. We have Bargain Bin at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, so tune in for that. Thank you all again for watching this run. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you all next time.